Hey guys, welcome to Green Bean Fiction. So in today's video we are gonna see, what if Deku became the Silver Shroud movie. This story is The Silver Shroud by Makedonius. Before starting, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe the channel if you are new so you won't miss our latest videos. No one Pav. We can see 5 people sitting on a table playing poker. Those 5 people were the biggest drug lords in Japan. They met on this evening not only to play poker but also discuss a very important matter. The Silver Shroud. Drug Lord 1. He killed at least 30 of my men and burned 200 kilograms marijuana together with my newly made plantage. I am out. He said as he threw his cards on the table. Drug Lord 2. Tell me about it. He sank one of my ships together with 500 kilograms cocaine that I tried to smuggle into Japan. I am all in. Drug Lord 3. He killed my best dealer and my right-hand man. He also brought in the corrupted hero that worked for me. It's only a matter of time until he destroys one of my cargoes. I am also out. He threw the cards on the table as well. In that moment one of the guards was knocked out from behind and pulled into the shadows without anyone noticing. Drug Lord 4. He killed several of my best men and brought in the heroes and police officers that worked for me. He also killed the hitman I sent it after him. You're bluffing. Drug Lord 2. Glad you think so. Another guard was grabbed and pulled away, while Drug Lord 4 looked at Drug Lord 2. Drug Lord 5. We should work together to take the Silver Shroud down, because if this continues then we will have nothing soon except a bullet in the head. I am out as well. Another guard was knocked out and pulled into the shadows. Now it were only the drug lords in the room. Drug Lord 4. Well, I am all in. A figure stepped out of the shadows without the drug lords noticing. Actually, the drug lords jumped up and looked at the shadowy figure, fear clearly written on their faces. You all fold. Drug Lord 4. No, it can't be. Oh, but it can. The figure pulled out a silver-looking Tommy gun with a drum magazine and started to shoot. Drug Lord 3 was dead before she even could pull out her gun, as the other 4 opened fire on the figure. Drug Lord 1 died as a bullet hit his head. Drug Lord 2 was shot in the stomach by 2 bullets as he fell to the ground still alive. Drug Lord 5 was shot in the shoulder and then in the neck killing him, and Drug Lord 4 was shot in both shoulders and then in the head killing her. Drug Lord 2 was still alive as he held his stomach in pain as he looked up to the figure. The figure had a long black and grayish coat with a silver scarf and mask, and on his head was an elegant black fedora hat. Drug Lord 2 tried to reach out for the figure, but as soon as he lifted his arm he was shot in the head by the figure. The room was silent. Blood was spilling out of the dead bodies onto the floor as the figure walked up to the poker table. You all had bad cards. Mine is better. The figure pulled a card out of his pocket and laid it on the table before he turned around and walked away. He stopped in front of the door as he turned his head to the side and said, 5 lords, death has come for you and I am its shroud. The figure walked out of the room as he left behind 5 dead bodies and some tied-up thugs. Who was that figure? Why did he do that? Well, that figure is the person every villain fears. That figure is the shadow following those who did evil. That figure is the last judge many villains will face. That figure is the Silver Shroud. Next morning, we can see a figure with a brown trenchcoat and a brown fedora hat walk inside of the room where he saw 5 dead bodies on the ground, with policemen already walking around collecting evidence and making pictures of the place. The man in the brown trenchcoat was Tsukachi Naomasa. He just woke up and was immediately called, come to this place. He didn't even had time to drink his coffee. Naomasa. Was there a card? Policeman. Yes sir. Silver Shroud again. Naomasa. I am not getting paid enough for this. No luck, Naomasa. T. Naomasa. Huh, Toshinori, what are you doing here? All Might. I was on my way towards Ua, but then I saw the cars outside and wanted to see what was going on. Naomasa. Well, we have 5 dead bodies. 3 male, 2 female. Those 5 were also the biggest drug lords of Japan, and their thugs were found tied up in the storage room of the building. All Might. Let me guess, it was Naomasa. The Silver Shroud, yes. All Might. Nothing new on him. Naomasa. No, it looks like all the other places. Dead bodies, 45 caliber round shells on the ground, and his card. No fingerprints or anything else. All Might. We will catch that villain sooner or later, Naomasa, believe me. He is no villain, All Might. Naomasa and All Might. Huh? Both of them turned around to see a black bold man with eye patch. All Might. Director Fury, what are you doing here? Fury. From now on S.H.I.E.L.D. and the Avengers will take over the Silver Shroud case. Naomasa. What? Fury handed Naomasa a file. Naomasa read it and sighed. Naomasa. The stage is all yours. Fury. Thank you Naomasa, just in case stay ready, we could need you in the future. Naomasa. Of course sir. Naomasa left. He had neutral look on his face but inside he was making leaps of joy. All Might. Fury. Don't you have an exam to go to? All Might. Oh yes of course, or the next. Fury. Yes they are already there but they will take their own exam sign, it seems unfair if they would take it with the others. All Might. Understandable, what is about my daughter joining them? Fury. That is up for their leader to decide, and to be honest All Might, don't get your hopes up, we all know what you and your family did. All Might was gritting his teeth, he wanted to say something but instead with TCH he walked out of the room and jumped towards Ua. Fury was looking after him as he waited for his team of specialists. Fury. The Silver Shroud is more of a hero than you ever were or will be, All Might. Just then a van pulled up to the building and out came the two geniuses of the Avengers. Fury. Stark. Banner, thank you that you could make it. Tony. Yeah, just get that over with, I want to see the exam of my little girl. Fury. Of course. On a roof not far away we can see a figure standing on the roof, he had a black suit with a skull on it and a black leather jacket. Punisher. Seems like you did a good job kid, no one Pav. We can see two friends walking towards Ua, one of them had bi-colored hair while the other smaller one had purple hair that looked like grapes. Those two boys were Minoru Mineta and Shoto Todoroki. Mineta. I am so nervous, what if I don't make it? Shoto. Calm down Mineta, we trained hard for this and Izuku teached us enough so that we can easily pass. Mineta. Oh shut up, you took the fucking recommendation of your father, you don't have to do the normal exam. Shoto. True hehe. Mineta. You and Izuku are just cruel, you know that. Shoto. Shoto got an annoyed look on his face, he didn't even had to turn around to know who was calling him. Shoto. What do you want Yagi? Izumi. Just wanted to ask if you want to hang out after the exam. Shoto. No thanks, I already have something planned. Izumi. Oh come on, why are you even friends with those losers? Shoto. Because I don't judge people by their quirk but by their personality, and not sorry to say that but you're at the bottom of that list. Izumi gasped and felt insulted, but before she could say anything the Bakugo twins came. Katsumi. Hoiic hot, why do you hang out with the loser? Shoto. Loser maybe. Mineta. Hey, Shoto. But at least he is a decent human being. Mineta. Burned. Katsuki. Oi, what did you say? Shoto. And here we have Hitler's reincarnation. Mineta. Oh. Katsuki was ready to kill Shoto, but as he tried he was hit on the head and fell over unconscious. I don't know how often I told that guy to get anger therapy, but no, that is what you get when you don't listen to smarter people. The person who knocked out Katsuki wore smoking with a green tie, he had green hair. Izumi and Katsumi. Deku. Izuku. Yo, what's up? Izumi. What the fuck are you doing here, you useless fuck? Izuku. Ouch, pretty hard coming from a child that can't do anything without her parents, she even needed daddy to give her his quirk. Izumi. W. What? Howdy, Shoto. Yo Izuku, why are you here? Izuku. I want to watch the exam for the support course, maybe I find some interesting individuals there. Mineta. Of course that is the only reason you are here. Izuku. Ha, of course I am here to wish my two best friends good luck with their exam, even so you don't need it, Shoto. Shoto. Luck is always welcome. Izumi run off into a direction while Katsumi tried to wake up her unconscious brother. Mineta of course realized that Izumi just run off. Mineta. Where is she running? Izuku. Probably telling daddy that I know about his secret, anyways let's go. Izuku. Shoto and Mineta walked into the building while Mineta walked off to look for the exam room. Shoto sticked with Izuku since it looked like Izuku knew where he had to go. Izuku. Why are you following me? Shoto. Aren't you going to the principal office? Izuku. No, I go directly to the exam for the support course. From here you go straight, then take a left, get in the elevator, then up to the 6th floor you get out, take a right, and you should stand in front of a big wooden door that is the principal office. Shoto. Oh okay, thank you Izuku. Shoto walked off as Izuku walked towards the support course until Izuku. Huh. Izuku turned around and saw his colleague and friend Tony Stark. Izuku. Tony. I didn't expected to see you here, how are you doing? He said while he threw his hand over Izuku's shoulder. Izuku. Just checking out the support course exam, maybe I find someone interesting. Tony. Geez kid, every time I meet you, you're working, come on, you are going to watch the hero exam with us. Izuku. You know that I have nothing to do with that. Tony. Come on, it will be fun. Izuku tried to walk away but Tony just held him as he walked into the other direction. Izuku, knowing that Tony wouldn't give up, admitted defeat and walked with the Avenger. Izuku. So how are your projects doing? Tony. Pretty good, and yours? Izuku. Yes, just finished a prototype for a new grapple and hook gauntlet. If everything goes well we will start production in a few months. Tony. How does it look? Izuku pulled out his phone and showed him a picture of the gauntlet. Tony. Wow, that looks like a Iron Man gauntlet. Izuku. You never said that you own the design. Tony. True, I think that one will be a hit just like all your other products, like your capture scarf. Izuku. Ah yes, the capture scarf is a classic, but the only thing I did was that it can't conduct electricity anymore. Tony. That is quite a big change for such a simple weapon like the capture scarf. Ah, we are here. Tony opened the door and was met with familiar faces. Some of them were faces he don't wanted to see, others he was happy to see, and then again others he was surprised to see. Nezu. Ah, Mr. Stark, you're finally here, and I see you brought Mr. Midoriya as well. Tony. Yeah, I saw him walking towards the support course to watch their exam, but I thought I'd rather bring him here. Aizawa. Good to see you, problem child. Izuku. You as well, uncle. Then a man with black hair and glasses walked up to Izuku. Bruce. Hello Mr. Midoriya, I think is the first time we meet. My name is Izuku. Bruce Banner, I know. I was really impressed with your recent work about atomic destruction and recycling, it is very interesting. Bruce. I am glad to see that someone likes my work. Izuku. Is that supposed to be a joke? I love your work. I would love to talk about different chemical situations, maybe over a cup of coffee or tea. Bruce. That sounds nice, maybe after the exam. Izuku. Sure, I have nothing else to do today anyways. Nezu. Nice to see that you're going along nicely. Anyways, the exam is about to start, you should sit down. Izuku, Bruce, and Tony sat down left besides Nezu. Izuku with his enchanted perception could hear the whispers in the room, but he mostly ignored them. Snipe whispering to Smintos. Those four are the smartest people on the planet. Smintos whispering to Snipe. I know, do you think they are just as sadistic as Nezu? Midnight whispering to Vlad King. Tony Stark IQ 186, Izuku Midoriya IQ 192, Nezu IQ 220, and Bruce Banner, nobody knows how high his IQ is. Vlad King whispering to Midnight. I am kind of afraid what happens when those four should work together. All Might whispering to Izumi. How did he find out? Izumi whispering to All Might. I don't know, he probably has someone to stalk us. Shoto was giggling and then whispered to them. No, he has no one on your tail. If you want to know, then let's just say you shouldn't have talked about it in an alleyway without knowing if someone was around, because he and me were there. All Might and Izumi. What? Nezu. All Might, does it give a problem? All Might. No sir. Nezu turned back to the monitor to watch the exam while the other three geniuses were looking at the papers of the written exam. Tony. Wow, Minoru Mineta got is the only one who got 91% of the exam right. Izuku. I expected nothing else from him. Bruce. You know him. Izuku. He is a friend of mine, I helped him study for the exam. Tony. You definitely did a good job. Izuku. I know. Nezu. He isn't bad at the practical exam as well. Izuku. How much does he have? Nezu. He has 75 points. Izumi. What, how is that possible? His quirk isn't that powerful. Izuku. His quirk isn't powerful naturally, he made it powerful through hard training and determination. Izumi. TCH. They continued to watch the exam until Nezu got out the zero-pointer. Mineta saved a girl by throwing his balls at the zero-pointer's feet, causing him to not be able to move. As Izuku was about to leave since the exam was over, Tony stopped him. Tony. Wait, the exam isn't over. Izuku. Huh, but it is. Tony. The normal exam, yes, but now comes the special exam. Nezu. Time for the next Gen Avengers. Izuku. Okay, that should be interesting. Izuku sat back down as he waited for the next Gen Avengers to start their exam. Izuku recognized 2 of the 6 next Gen Avengers, one being Mei Hatsume Stark, the daughter of Tony Stark, and Mirio Tagata, protege and nephew of Captain America. He will be 16 in this story. Let's just say the exam ended in the total destruction of all robots. The next Gen Avengers showed great teamwork and fighting skills, and they were able to destroy the zero-pointer in seconds. Izuku. I must say those 6 will be great heroes in the future. They already are. They probably could take out most pro heroes already. Nezu. I have to agree. After the exam everyone left. Only Tony, Bruce, Nezu and Izuku got themselves a nice cup of coffee or tea and talked about science or other high IQ stuff until. Dad, are you here? Tony. Yeah, I am here. What is it, sweetie? May. Director Fury is looking for you and Uncle Banner. Bruce. Why? Tony. He said something about Silver Shroud and how to find him. Nezu. So it's true you are now looking for the Silver Shroud? Tony. Yeah, after that Mafia massacre in Boston what he caused, S.H.I.E.L.D. decided to take the case since he is working on international level. Izuku. Any luck? Bruce. We were just pulled to this case today, so no, but Fury has his eyes on him for a while already. Tony. Anyways, we have to go when the boss is looking for us. Bruce. Yeah, it was really nice talking to you, Nezu and Midoriya. It was an honor talking to you. Izuku. The honor is mine, Mr. Banner. I hope we can repeat this in the future. Bruce. I hope that as well. With that the 2 Avengers left the room. Nezu. Silver Shroud, he is an interesting character indeed, but I question myself what Fury is planning to do with him. Izuku. A good question indeed. Time skip this evening. May was in her Iron Man suit. She was on patrol with Kyoka, Etienne Lebeau. They were jumping and flying over the roofs. May. Do you really think we will find him? Kyoka. No, but it doesn't hurt to look. But as soon as they reached the alleyway they could hear shouting from it. Please have mercy. Mercy, did you have mercy on those people who you butchered? The 2 next Gen Avengers walked closer to the edge of the roof and looked down to see a guy on the ground with a brown jacket on his back crawling away from a black figure. Now I will give you a chance for a quick death. Pikmin, what do you know about the Mechanist? Pikmin. Not much, he just pays me to kill people for him. He pays you with toys like this. The figure held up a combat knife with a dark blade. This knife is made out of vibranium. From where does he get that kind of metal? Pikmin. He got it from one of the drug lords you killed yesterday. They had some kind of agreement with each other, that is all I know. Really? Pikmin. I swear. Bang. Blood splattered as the figure shot the man on the ground in the head with a silver-looking revolver. The figure was about to walk away, but he looked up the building and saw the 2 Avengers standing there looking down on him. Tell Fury if he wants something from me then he can meet me tomorrow on the harbor near Warehouse 5. Kyoka. Oh, and why shouldn't we stop you right now? If you don't want a bullet in your knee then I suggest that you don't. My pistol and rifle are strong enough to go through your armor as well, Stark. May. Who are you? Really, I know you were looking for me and then ask me who I am, but I may as well help some rookies. I am the Silver Shroud and I see you 2 tomorrow at the harbor. With that, Silver Shroud threw a smoke grenade on the ground. The next Gen Avengers jumped down the building in an attempt to catch him, but as they landed he was gone. Kyoka scanned the area with her black-purple eyes, some of her infused cards ready to throw. May. He is gone. Kyoka. Damn it. May turned to the dead body. May. He took his knife. Kyoka. What? May. He took his vibranium knife. Kyoka. Great, just great, but Director Fury will be happy, to some extent. No one pav. Location. Japanese Avenger base. Fury. So you 2 found him, talked to him and then just let him escape. Kyoka. Kind of, yes. Fury. Not only that, you also saw how he killed someone, took a vibranium knife, and he knew the entire time that you were there. May. Yes. Fury. Yes, just yes. You were there watching the entire scene and didn't even thought for a second to intervene. May and Kyoka. Steve. Well, at least we now know where to meet him. Fury. At least something. Did you find something else out? Kyoka. He is looking for a guy called the Mechanist. May. That Mechanist guy also was the one making that vibranium knife. Natasha. Vibranium is an extremely rare metal. Besides the governments, the only ones able to get their hands on it would be people with connections or a lot of money like Stark. Peter. Who was the guy he killed anyway? Carol. The name of the guy he killed was Robert Pickman. He was a hitman, serial killer and artist, and let's just say he is a special artist. Carol held her hand before her mouth as if she was trying not to puke. Mom. A girl with long orange hair walked beside her mother. Carol. Sorry. Pickman used the blood and body parts and innards of his victims for his art. I once saw it myself and it was disgusting, something that burnt its way into my memories. Fury. Shield was also after Pickman, but he always managed to escape us, but he didn't manage to escape the Silver Shroud. May. What is if that Mechanist guy paid Pickman to kill the Silver Shroud but he failed? I can't imagine that. Kyoka. Momo. Pickman always run away as soon as a Shield officer was around. What tells me that he isn't a guy who picks a fight with someone he can't defeat, so he ambushes his victims. And as much as you told us about the scene tells me that the Silver Shroud was the one to ambush Pickman, meaning that he wasn't here for him but maybe for someone else. Good thinking, and of course you were right. All the Avengers jumped up and looked around looking for the source of the voice. I am very sorry to interrupt your little meeting here. They looked at a monitor who showed a dark figure with a hat on its head. Fury immediately knew who that person was. Fury. Silver Shroud. I thought our meeting was this night. Silver Shroud. Yeah, sadly it gave a little change of plans since it looks like the Japanese Hero Commission found out about our little meeting and already positioned the top 10 there. Tony. So is our meeting cancelled? Silver Shroud. Of course not. I just wanted to give you guys a head up that there will be quite a show this evening. If the Japanese should try something stupid, I suggest you were something against nuclear radiation. And with that the monitor went blank. Carol. Nuclear radiation. Banner. You don't think he has some kind of atomic weapon, do you? Fury. I hope not, but if he has we have a big problem. Steve. Can somebody tell me how the Japanese found out about the meeting in the first place? Tony. No, I did, but I am kind of excited for the show that is about to go down. May. I don't know why, but I am too. Time skip this night, 10 p.m. Location. Tokyo Harbor, in front of Warehouse 5. Fury. Everyone in position. All over intercom. Yes. Fury couldn't convince the Hero Commission to pull back the top 10. They were hiding right now since they thought that the Silver Shroud was only expecting the Avengers. Oh, how wrong they were. Right now we can see some of the Avengers and the 6 next-gen Avengers standing in front of the warehouse. Steve. He should be here by now, shouldn't he? Carol. He said something about a show. And I normally deliver. All the Avengers and next-gen Avengers looked up and saw the Silver Shroud standing on top of the warehouse with his silver SMG laying on his shoulder. Fury. Silver Shroud, so we finally meet. Silver Shroud. It's an honor to finally meet you, Director Fury. Fury. I normally prefer it to talk to people from face to face. Silver Shroud. I know, but I can't also tell the top 10 to come out of their hiding spot. Fury. He knows you're here, you can come out. The top 10 heroes of Japan came out of their hiding spot. They were surprised that he knew that they were here. Hawks. How? Silver Shroud. I hacked into your computers, that's how. All Might. Give up, villain, you know you can't win. Silver Shroud just looked at the symbol of peace before he started to laugh. The people watching were freaked out by the laugh of the Silver Shroud. Well, at least most of them. Only All Might was gritting his teeth as he was being laughed at. Silver Shroud. That is rich coming from someone like you. You couldn't even catch All for one and he was half dead. All Might. How did you? Fury. Why did you want to meet us, Shroud? Silver Shroud. You know that I am looking for a guy called the Mechanist, right? Fury. Yes, and what does that have to do with us? Silver Shroud. Well, the mechanist builds robots and he uses those robots to do evil. Not only that, he also is working on a robot at the moment who could let Ultron look like a bad joke. Tony. You have to be kidding me. Steve. A robot more dangerous than Ultron. Silver Shroud to Tony. Sadly, not as much as I know about that new robot is that it has some kind of nuclear weapon on it. Tony. Nuclear. Steve. Weapon. Silver Shroud. This warehouse is one of the warehouses the mechanist uses, and he storages here a special material. The Silver Shroud held up a silver-looking canister with a yellow and black sign on it. He opened a part of the canister and a greenish light could be seen coming out of it as he opened it, the canister completely showing an atomic rod inside it, before closing it again. Silver Shroud. That is exactly what you think it is, and in this warehouse is enough of that stuff to build an atomic bomb with the same strength as the bomb that was dropped over Hiroshima. The Avengers and other heroes that were there were scared. How could someone get that much atomic material without anyone realizing? Silver Shroud. This is also the reason I wanted this meeting to happen. I can't defeat him alone since he has an army of robots by his side, one stronger than the other. He also has several bases across Japan and I am not fast enough to clear them all. Fury. Do you know where they are? Silver Shroud. Most of them, yes. I destroyed several of his robots already, and in their chips were several maps with several different bases across Japan. Fury. How many bases did you find? Silver Shroud. 12, but there are certainly more. Anyways, that is all I have to say to you right now. I will contact you if I find out more. All Might. Do you really think we are going to let you go? Silver Shroud. Think very carefully about what you're doing, All Might. I am standing on top of a building with nuclear material in it. What do you think will happen if you would attack me now? But All Might, the attention-seeking whore, he has jumped at the Silver Shroud. Fury. All Might, no. All Might. Detroit Smash. All Might threw his punch, but it was blocked by none other than Captain Marvel. She punched All Might in the face and sended him flying into another warehouse. Captain Marvel turned towards the spot where the Silver Shroud stood, but he was gone. In his place, the canister with the nuclear sign on it and his iconic card. She took both items and flew down towards her group. She gave the canister to Bruce, who was holding it like it was going to explode any second now, while she gave the card to Fury. Then she saw All Might standing up from the side of her eye. Carol. You. She flew at him with high speed and grabbed him by the collar of his costume while she screamed into his face. Carol. Have you gone mad, you fucking attention-seeking whore? Mom. Carol. Do you try to kill us all, you fucking idiot? She said while she punched him in the face. Carol. The whole building is full with nuclear material strong enough to blow up the entire city, and you have no better idea and attack him while he was standing on top of it. She punched him again. Carol. You could have killed millions of people just because you wanted the fame of capturing him. Fury. Captain Marvel, stop. But she continued to punch him. Endeavor tried to grab her hand, but he was sent flying into the ocean. Hawks tried to use his feathers on her, but they couldn't even touch her. But then a girl with long orange hair and a similar suit to that of Carol grabbed her arm. Mom, please stop, you're killing him. Carol looked at her daughter and then back at All Might before she took a deep breath and deactivated her powers. She stood up and turned around to hug her daughter, while All Might was coughing up blood while laying on the ground. Carol. I am sorry, Itsuka. Itsuka. I am okay, Mom, but I am not the one you should apologize to. Carol looked at All Might laying on the ground. Carol. He doesn't deserve an apology. After that they walked back to their team while letting the other Japanese heroes deal with a heavily beat up All Might. Fury. I don't say that he didn't deserve that, but try to control your anger next time. Carol. No promises. Then a SHIELD agent approaches Fury. Agent. Sir, the Silver Shroud said the truth. The whole building is full with nuclear or other dangerous material. Steve. That just gets better and better. He didn't even told us where those bases are. Fury. He will know fear. Fury showed everyone the Silver Shroud card before he turned it to show them the backside of it, where was something written on it. Meet you at your base. Silver Shroud. While the Avengers went back to their base, we can see someone smirking at a video he recorded on a video camera. That someone was the Silver Shroud. Silver Shroud. Let's see how the public reacts to this. All Might. No one pav. The day after the meeting between the Silver Shroud and the Avengers was chaos pure. It was all over the news, it was on the newspapers, it was on YouTube and other social network platforms. What, you may ask? Well, in the morning after the meeting a video was published on YouTube. Nobody knows who uploaded it, but the video showed the entire meeting to the point where Captain Marvel beats up All Might for his stupidity for nearly causing a nuclear catastrophe. The news and newspapers call this incident, the symbol of peace nearly killed all of Tokyo. Many people were angry at All Might for this incident. Some even went that far to call him an attention-seeking whore. All Might had to give an interview and had to make a public apology. To say the least, he didn't like it. Why? Well, he saw himself in the right for trying to capture a dangerous villain. Even so, the people began referring to the Silver Shroud as the real symbol of peace. Well, anyways, as if that incident with All Might wasn't enough, anyone in Japan now knew that there is a villain with enough nuclear power to cause the total destruction of Tokyo and probably Japan. News lady. Now our questions are: who is the Mechanist? What does he want? Why is he doing this? Is the Silver Shroud together with the Avengers strong enough to stop this maniac? What is his plan? Fury turned off the TV and turned towards the other Avengers in the room, who all had their heads in their hands. Fury. Japan just gets better and better. Tony. I know, right? Natasha. Who made this video? I thought we cleared the area. Vision. That is a good question. The only possible way is that it was someone from us or S.H.I.E.L.D. Bruce. But what if? Steve. Bruce. What if it was the Silver Shroud himself who made the video? Natasha. Why should he do that? I mean, he literally have warned the villain that heroes are after him. Fury. Banner has a point though. Nobody, even we in S.H.I.E.L.D., knew nothing about the Mechanist. We didn't even knew he existed. Meaning that the Mechanist tried to keep his existence a secret so he could work in peace, but now everyone knows about him. Japan's heroes are after him, we are after him, and the Silver Shroud is after him. Carol. Meaning he has to be more careful now, especially when he needs material, so he has to slow down as long as his robot isn't field ready. Fury. If the Silver Shroud really made this video to slow the Mechanist down, then it could be that the Mechanist is close to finish his project, and with that video he just bought us a few more days or weeks. It wasn't to buy time. Everyone turned around to see. Tony. What the hell are you doing here? Natasha. How did you get in? Fury. It's been a while. Punisher. Castell. It has been. Fury. Why are you here? Castell. A friend of ours asked me for help in the fight against the Mechanist. Steve. Why am I not surprised that you two know each other? Castell walked towards Fury and gave him a letter. Castell. The kid and I met a few years ago. We worked together in the past and I also teached him some of my tricks. Tony. Kid. Castell. You will be surprised, the Silver Shroud is much younger than you may think. Fury opened the letter and inside was a map, with red crosses on random locations. There also was a piece of paper with something written on it. I am very sorry that I couldn't come myself, but I had business what I had to attend to, so I hope you don't mind that I have to send you a letter. Anyways, as you probably already saw, I asked another friend of mine for help. I worked with the Punisher in the past and we both know how efficient he is, so I hope you don't mind. With honorable regards, Silver Shroud. Tony. Did he never hear something about an email? Natasha. He is old-fashioned in every way. I mean, he uses a fucking Tommy gun. Castell. Anyways, I think we have work to do. He is already out there taking down this base. Castell pointed at a red cross that was near Kyoto. Steve. Alone. Castell. Yeah, he isn't much of a team worker. He is used to work with me, but when he can, he solves his problems alone. Fury. Before you said something about it wasn't to buy time. What do you mean? Castell. Shroud made the video, yes, but he didn't do it to buy time. Bruce. For what then? Castell. Shroud always tries to catch two flies in the price of one. Think for a moment who is suffering the most backdraw thanks to the video. Carol. All Might. Castell. Shroud was never a friend of All Might or any Japanese hero. Since he started his work and became Silver Shroud, he tries to rebuild or reform the Japanese hero society. I don't know why, but it's probably personal business. Fury. You seem to know a lot about him. Mind answering some of our questions? Castell. Only one. I don't want him to shoot me in the knee. Everyone in the room gulped, even Fury. All of them were thinking what kind of question they could ask. After a while Bruce stood up and asked. Bruce. What is his quirk? He simply disappeared in thin air. Is it teleportation or enchanting quirk? Since the video from the Boston Massacre we saw that he is stronger than most normal people. He also seems to have no limit when it comes to endurance. He also seems to know where his enemy is, making it impossible to ambush him. Castell. You know, you could have just asked what is his quirk. You didn't needed to list all those things up. Bruce. What is his quirk? Castell. He is quirkless, but he has his own version of the super soldier serum. Everyone. What? No one. Pav. Warning: this chapter contains brutal scenes, descriptions of extreme brutality, blood, gore, death and child murder. We can see the 6 next-gen Avengers walking through the halls of UA in search for their new class. Mirio. I am all fired up. Kyoka. We know, don't need to scream. Itsuka. I am kind of nervous. Mei. Why? Yeah, why? I mean, nobody of them would dare to mess with you. Nobody can keep up with us, so no need to be nervous. Itsuka. That is easy for you to say. Mashirao. Ojiro. Barton, you just beat them up or shoot them with your arrows if they mess with you. Ojiro. I know, and that's why nobody dares to mess with me. Mirio. Yeah, please hold back this time so that we can make some friends. Ojiro. Come on guys, I am not that bad. Momo. Remember that guy we had to arrest during our mission in Paris? Ojiro. Yeah, why? Momo. You literally beat him to a bloody pulp just because he insulted you and your bow. Ojiro. Nobody insults me or my bow without consequences. Itsuka. That is why I am nervous. Kyoka. I am with you on this one. Itsuka. Mei. Guys. Ojiro. But he deserved it. Mei. Guys. Momo. We were supposed to interrogate him after we capture him. He couldn't even talk anymore after you beat him up. Mei. Guys. Itsuka. How do you think will they react to me, since my mom beat up All Might? Mei. Guys. The other 5. What? Mei. We walked past our class. Mei pointed towards a door down the corridor. The 5. Oh. Mei. Come on or we are gonna be late. Mirio. Right. The 6 walked towards their class as they heard shouting from the inside. Kyoka. This is going to be fun. While the next-gen Avengers were enjoying their first school day, on the other side of Japan was a villain ready to reveal his work to the world in Japan. That villain is the Mechanist. He stands on a hill near a small town. Besides him was a big robot with 3 legs, a minigun his right hand and a rocket launcher his left hand, and also 2 mortars on his back. His cape was flowing in the wind as he overlooked the small town, ready to show them how weak their little puny quirks are. Mechanist. Today I show those monsters how weak they are. Show them what you can do. Z01. Z01. Destroy human monsters, for the Mechanist. The robot went down the hill as the Mechanist laughed. Mechanist. Ha. Let's see who is weak now. Meta Liberation Army. Ha 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 ha. The robot drove down the hill and towards the border of the city. A mailman who was part of the Liberation Army was the first to see the robot. Mailman. What the hell is that thing? Z01 saw the mailman standing there. It lifted his rocket launcher, hand aimed and fired. Boom. Asterisk. The mailman was ripped into pieces by the explosion and then it began. Humans came out of their houses, quirks activated, ready to fight the robot. Z01. Destroy human monsters, for the Mechanist. Z01 cocked his minigun. It was silent for a few seconds, the humans waiting for the robot to do something, and then he fired his shoulder mortars. The mortar shells hit the center of the crowd. An explosion followed by screaming could be heard, ripping of body parts, splattering of blood and innards. Body parts were flying through the air as most of the people watched in shock and fear. Then Z01's minigun began to spin and then it started to shoot. The people were screaming. Their morale was destroyed in a matter of seconds as their comrades were cut down like grass by the minigun of the robot. Everyone was running. Some tried to use their quirk in an attempt to attack the robot, but only a few succeeded, but they barely did any damage to this war machine of a robot as they were killed immediately after it. The robot advanced deeper into the city, people screaming and running away from the robot, many too scared to use their quirks. Meta Civilian. What is that thing? Meta Civilian 2. A Terminator, a fucking Terminator. Z01 continued its killing spree through the city. Woman, man or child, nobody was safe as the robot killed them all. Then as Z01 turned around a corner, it was met with a pike of ice piercing through its left arm, ripping it off. The robot looked a few seconds at its destroyed arm before it turned towards the reason for the ice attack. Jidan. Your way ends here. Z01. Destroy human monsters for the Mechanist. Z01 turned its massive body towards Jidan and started to shoot at him with its minigun. Jidan created a thick ice wall to cover himself while Z01 continued to shoot at him. Then Z01 mortars fire again, destroying Jidan's ice wall. Z01 aimed at Jidan ready to kill him, but then a big dark figure charged into it, throwing it into a house. Jidan used that moment to encase it with ice, destroying its weapons and making it unable to move. Jidan. Thank you, Re-Destro sir. Re-Destro. No problem, Jidan, are you alright? Look who it is, the great Re-Destro himself. A honor to finally see you, even if it isn't through my own eyes. Re-Destro and Jidan turned towards the source of the voice and they saw that it came from the robot. I am sorry that I caused this much havoc, but I needed to test some things and your little town was just perfect for that. Jidan. Test. You killed so many people just for a test, how dare you, you fucking son of a bitch. It seems my test was a success. I will have to improve my robots so that they can withstand ice and fire better, but anything else seems good so far. Re-Destro. Who are you? Me. I am the one who creates the future. I am the one who will show the world how weak quirks are. I am the one who will show them that metal is the future. I am the Mechanist. Ha 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 ha. Re-Destro and Jidan took a step back from the robot. Jidan. You are the one with Mechanist. With the nuclear stuff. Yes, I am. Now I would love to sit around and talk with you, but I have work to do. No fear, the police, heroes and ambulances are already on their way. Until we see again, Re-Destro, but next time we will talk face to face, believe me. Re-Destro. You will pay for what you did. Mechanist. Ha 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 ha. After that the voice was gone and replaced by beeping sound. Re-Destro, realizing what was going to happen, grabbed Jidan and jumped away from the robot before it exploded, destroying the whole building it was stuck in. As the dust settled, Re-Destro deactivated his quirk as he started to walk down the street, Jidan following him. They walked through the street and what they saw was a bloodbath. Blood was streaming down the street like a river. It stuck there where body parts were. It smelled of vomit, shit, sulfur and blood. Jidan puked, but Re-Destro continued to walk. He looked around. Body parts, mutilated bodies of woman, man and children. Re-Destro came to a halt as he heard crying. He looked towards the direction where he heard it, and what he saw could even break the strongest man's heart. A mother crying, holding the separated head of her dead child in her arms, the body of the child laying beside her. Re-Destro. The Mechanist, he can't be human. No one pav. News reporter. 341 confirmed deaths and over 200 people were injured. It was also confirmed by witnesses and survivors that the robot was from the Mechanist. Was this massacre the revenge of the Mechanist against the heroes and the Silver Shroud? We now switch to. The TV was switched off. We are in a dark cave. We can see a large computer, several tubes with weapons and suits in it. There also were workbenches. We can hear shots as a figure was shooting at the TV with a revolver. Master Midoriya. Izuku. Jarvie, get my gun, I go out tonight. Jarvie. Of course, Master Midoriya. The butler turned around and walked to one of the tubes, while Izuku put on his costume. Izuku. I will need the explosive ammo. Jarvie. Are you sure, sir? We just started to test them, we don't know if they are safe. Izuku. They have to be put them into the straight magazines. The butler sighed as he took 2 straight magazines and put in the special ammunition. Jarvie. Anything else, Master Midoriya? Izuku. Do you know where Pikmin's knife is? Jarvie. The knife of the murderer, why do you need it? Izuku. It's made of vibranium. Jarvie. If I have to fight those robots in hand-to-hand combat, then it will make my job much easier. Jarvie sighed again as he took the combat knife and gave it to Izuku, who put in a scabbard and bound it around his upper leg where it was hidden by the trenchcoat. Izuku looked through his equipment to see if he had everything. After he was sure he had everything, he took the last 2 pieces of his equipment, one being a grappling hook gauntlet and a weird-looking gauntlet with a screen on it. He put the grappling hook gauntlet on his left arm and the computer gauntlet on his right arm. Izuku. Everything looks good. Jarvie. Sir, your hat. Izuku. Thank you, Jarvie. Izuku took his hat and put it on his head before pulled his mask up. Silver Shroud. Mechanist, enjoy your last days of life. Izuku. Now Silver Shroud walked towards a motorcycle without wheels. Just imagine it's black and silver in color. Jarvie. Please take care of you, Master Midoriya. Silver Shroud. I will, Jarvie, I always do. Silver Shroud got on the bike and started the engine. The bike began to hover and he flew out of the cave at high speed. Jarvie. Good luck, sir. Time skip. Thug. Move, you fucking robots, we have to hurry before we are caught. Mr. Handy Robot. Yes, sir. We can see robots unloading a ship container. The robots unloaded it and loaded a truck. Thug. Was that the last one? Mr. Handy Robot. Yes, sir. Just as the thug was about to drive off, the tires of the truck were shot, causing the vehicle to flip. Thug. What the? The thug wanted to climb out of the vehicle, but he stopped as he heard shooting from the outside. Mr. Handy won. For TH. The thug sat silent in the truck, not making a noise as the shooting continued. He knew who was out there. He knew who was shooting. He knew what will happen to him. Mr. Handy 2. F4. Bang. Silver Shroud. I just need your chip. The thug could hear the sound of metal being scrapped and bended. The thug dared to look. He pulled himself up to the window and looked outside, and he saw nothing. He saw the destroyed robots, but there was no person there. The thug was confused. Didn't he just heard how someone ripped the robots apart? Silver Shroud. Looking for someone. The thug froze as he heard the voice behind him. He turned his head to look behind him, but as soon as he did that, he was grabbed from behind. He was pulled out of the driver cabin and thrown into a wall. He caught as all the air left his lungs and he tried to get it in. He looked up and saw the Silver Shroud standing in front of him. He then was grabbed by his collar and lifted up before he was smashed into the wall, creating cracks in the wall by the force he was pushed into it. Silver Shroud. You will tell me everything you know about the Mechanist. Thug. Non che digo nada ainda que puedes entender. I am not telling you anything even if you could understand me. Silver Shroud looked at the thug a few seconds in silence before. Silver Shroud. EUCET Ferris, I do and you will. Then a crack was heard, followed by a scream of pain. When the police arrived after someone called them because of shots and screams heard at the harbor, they were shocked to see at least 20 destroyed robots. When they walked to the overturned truck, they heard a whimper, like that of a child. Alarmed, the policeman ran toward the noise, but when they went around a corner they saw that it was not a child but a grown man. He had both his arms broken, his knees were shot and his nose broken. Who did that had also ripped out some of the poor man's fingernails and apparently some teeth. Then there were the eyes, one hang halfway out of its socket. Thug. Sintu. Policeman 1. Who did this? Thug. Sintu. Policeman 2. Can you understand what he is saying? I will call an ambulance. While Policeman 2 was calling for an ambulance and backup, Policeman 1 helped the thug as he took care of him. He saw a card laying on the ground. His eyes widened as he saw the card. Policeman 1. The Silver Shroud. Thug. Mechanist. Policeman 1. Huh, thug. He angry. Policeman 1 listened to the thug, even so he mostly spoke in a language what he couldn't understand, but the last word he said on Japanese. Thug. Rage. After that the ambulance came and picked the thug up, while the other police officers were looking for evidence. Policeman 1. Yo partner, did you find something? Policeman 2. No, the only thing we found out was that those robots were from the Mechanist and you. Policeman 1. A card. Policeman 2. Silver Shroud. Policeman 1. Yeah. Policeman 2. Well, he isn't our problem anymore. Let's wrap up here and call SHIELD. The Shroud is their problem. Somewhere else, we can see the Silver Shroud standing on a building overlooking Tokyo as a figure approached him. Silver Shroud. I know that you don't have the best memories here in Japan, but I am glad that you are ready to help us. Well, what can I say? I still owe you a favor. Also, who knows what he will do when he is finished with Japan. Silver Shroud. I understand. He turned around to face the person behind him. Welcome back to Japan. No one Pav. It has been a week since the massacre and the Silver Shroud is still on a rampage against everything that has even a little bit to do with the Mechanist. The Avengers in that time raided 5 bases of the Mechanist, but sadly besides a few robots and material they found nothing about the main base of the Mechanist. Right now we can see the next-gen Avengers together with their class sitting in a bus driving towards the USJ as the class was talking about the newest reports of the Silver Shroud. Kaminari. He took out 50 robots last night and killed 2 men as he raided a base of the Mechanist by himself. Kirishima. Wow, that is so manly, besides the killing part. Katsuki. He is just a villain, stop hyping him up so much. Ojiro. You are stupid, are you? The Silver Shroud is many things but not a villain. Katsuki. What did you say, Tailman? Ojiro. First of all, my name is Ojiro, and second of all, the Silver Shroud is a fucking anti-hero. If he would be a villain, then he would have never told the Avengers or anyone else about the Mechanist and instead would have tried to take him down completely by himself. Shoto. A villain would never ask a hero for help, especially not the Avengers, but the Silver Shroud, he is smart enough to see when he can't win something by himself. He knows that he is strong enough to take down the top 10 of Japan by himself. If I dare say, I think that he even could take down some of the Avengers as well. Katsumi. As if. Jiro. No, Todoroki is saying the truth. Me and Mei once ran into him, we thought we could ambush him, but he knew we were there the entire time, he just ignored us. Mirio. He also knew about the top 10 hiding at the harbor before we did. Itsuka. That he still came even knowing that the Avengers and the top 10 were there shows that he isn't afraid of us. He probably even knew that All Might would try to attack him. Izumi. And if your mom wouldn't have stopped him, then the Silver Shroud would have been already behind bars. Mei. No, if Captain Marvel wouldn't have stopped him, then we would be all dead and Tokyo would be a burning pile of ash. So you can imagine it like that. All Might was the child that was about to do something stupid and Captain Marvel was the teacher to stop him and teach him how stupid that was. Izumi. Don't you call. Aizawa. Everyone shut up, we are here, get out of the bus. Meanwhile, in another part of Tokyo. Thug. Please don't, I say you everything I know. Silver Shroud. What do you know about the Mechanist? Thug. Not much, I swear, I only worked for him to transport some material. I only know the parking place where I parked the truck, I got paid and that was it, I swear. Shroud pointed his Tommy gun at the villain. Silver Shroud. You sure? Thug. No. He also called me yesterday, he wanted me to join in on an attack. Silver Shroud grabbed the thug by the collar as he lifted him up and slammed him into a wall. Silver Shroud. A attack on what? Thug. The USJ. He joined forces with another organization called the League of Villains. They plan to attack the USJ in an attempt to kill All Might. Silver Shroud. When? Thug. Today, in half an hour from now on. Silver Shroud. Is that all? Thug. I wet my bed until I was 14. Silver Shroud let the thug go and put him in cuffs. Silver Shroud. You're smart. With that he left the thug in cuffs waiting for the police. Silver Shroud went to his hoverbike and got on it. He started the engine and flew towards UA and the USJ, as he called someone over the computer on his bike. Lady Nagant. What is it? I am busy. Izuku. Is Castell with you? Lady Nagant. Yes, why do you ask? Izuku. Stop being lovebirds then and head to the USJ. I found out that the Mechanist will attack there together with some other villains. I am on my way already. Lady Nagant. Okay, we are on our way. With that she hung up as Silver Shroud sped up, flying over the roofs of Tokyo as he saw UA on the horizon. Silver Shroud. I am coming for you, Mechanist. Back in the USJ. Mineta. Fuck. Shoto. You okay, Mineta? Mineta. Of course not, my fucking leg is broken. Tsuyu. Those robots are from the Mechanist, do you think he is behind this? Izumi. I think so, but if it only were the robots, that fucking bird thing is also in there. We can see Shoto carrying a wounded Mineta, while Izumi and Tsuyu ran back up the stairs while the next-gen Avengers fought of the robots and villains. Ojiro used his tail to kick a robot in the head while he spinned in the air. He shot an EMP arrow at another robot, destroying it. Mechanist. I will have to upgrade that, can't have my robots defeated by a normal EMP. Momo used her powers to lift up a robot and smash it into a group of villains. Mechanist. I will have to find a way to counter her powers. Jiro used her cards as she threw them at the robots. The cards exploded as soon as they touched the robots, She then used her staff and slammed it into the ground, sending robots and villains flying. Besides one Mr. Handy, the robot flew towards Jiro ready to use his saw hand as he was hit with a shield, destroying it. Mechanist. Upgrade to counter kinetic energy attacks and faster reflexes to dodge vibranium shields. Mei and Itsuka flew over them. Itsuka flew downward, smashing her fist into the head of Sentry Bot, destroying it. Mei saw the Mechanist standing together with the Mist Guy and the Hand Man. She shot a beam at them, but a warp gate opened and sended the beam right back. Mei. Mei was hit as she fell to the ground. A Sentry Bot saw her and moved towards her, ready to kill the daughter of Iron Man. Mirio. Mei. Mirio tried to reach her, but he was stopped by a group of villains. Sentry Bot. Destroy humans for the Mechanist. The Sentry Bot aimed his gun at Mei, ready to shoot. Mei covered her eyes as she waited for the final shot, but instead she heard several shoots followed by gasps. She opens her eyes to see the bot just standing there, not moving, as it slowly fell backwards, destroyed. Mei. What the? ? You okay? Mei turned around and saw the Silver Shroud standing there, offering her a hand. Mei. Yeah, thanks for that. Mei grabbed his hand and he pulled her up to her feet. Silver Shroud. I suggest you stay back for a second. The Silver Shroud moved past Mei and towards the villains. Silver Shroud. You can decide what happens now, either you stay and die or you run and live, your decision. The villains stepped back while the robots held their ground. Shigaraki. What are you doing? Don't tell me that one man scares you, you just fought the next-gen Avengers. Mechanist. There is a difference, Shigaraki. Shigaraki. And that is. Mechanist. The Silver Shroud kills and improves. He defeated many of my robots. I upgrade them, I make them stronger, but every time they fight against him it is like as if those upgrades were for nothing. Basically said that man is like a robot, improving and upgrading himself. Silver Shroud changed his magazine from a drum roll magazine to a straight clip magazine. Shigaraki. Huh, why is he changing to a smaller magazine? Shroud cocked his gun before aiming and then he started to shoot. Many explosions were going of ripping apart many of the smaller robots. The robots and villains charged at the Silver Shroud, but he just pulled out a weird-looking grenade, pulling out the pin and throwing it at the charging enemies. They ignored the grenade as they run towards the Silver Shroud, who was reloading. A big mistake, the grenade went off and a green light flashed up as screaming from villains and the explosion of destroyed robots could be heard. The Silver Shroud reloaded another straight magazine and started to open fire again. Shigaraki. What the hell was that? Mechanist. Plasma grenade, impressive. The Silver Shroud just continued to fire. He dodged the punch of a villain before shooting of the head of Aggressotron. More and more robots were destroyed while some villains started to run away in fear to be killed by the Silver Shroud. Shigaraki. Come back here, you cowards. Nomu, kill that bastard now. He shouted while pointing at the Silver Shroud. The Nomu charged at him but was stopped as a bullet went through his head. Shigaraki. What the? Everyone looked up as woman and a man were standing on top of the stairs. Mirio. Punisher. Izumi. Lady Nagant. Silver Shroud. Took you too long enough. Lady Nagant and the Punisher jumped down the stairs, charging into the fight. Punisher. You seem to be okay without us. Lady Nagant. We just had a good time, you know. Izuku. Yeah, you can continue when we are finished here. Everyone was awestruck and shocked as they saw three anti-heroes mowing down their enemies. Mina. Oh my god. Kirishima. Those three are on another level. Hagakure. I think I need to puke. The villains were gone, the only thing left on the field were the robots, and even they were no problem for the combined power of the three anti-heroes. Mechanist. Impressive. Shigaraki. Nomu, get up now, kill them. The Nomu regenerated from the headshot and charged at the three anti-heroes. The Punisher started to shoot at the Nomu with his shotgun and Lady Nagant did the same with her quirk. But the Nomu just tanked them and continued his charge, even so he was slowed down. Lady Nagant. Yo Shroud, do you have something to kill that thing? Silver Shroud. Of course I have. Silver Shroud pulled out a grenade as he pulled the pin and threw the grenade towards the Nomu. He then drew his revolver and with two quick shots he hit the Grande, causing her to explode. Everyone in the USJ covered their eyes because of how bright the explosion was. As they could see again, they looked at where the Nomu was. The Nomu stood there with a big part of its body missing and it didn't look like it would regenerate anytime soon. Shigaraki. W. What, that is impossible. Nomu was supposed to kill All Might, he must have cheated, cheater, hacks. Punisher. Holy cow boy, what the hell was that grenade? Silver Shroud. It gives two ways how to deal with a healing quirk. Option 1, wound him badly several times over so that the quirk can't heal him fast enough, or option 2, destroy his cells so they can't heal, and as you can see I choose option 2. Lady Nagant. What was in that grenade? Mechanist. Interesting, this looked like an atomic explosion in small, but something was different. Silver Shroud. This was a quantum grenade, something similar. The Mechanist closed his notebook as he turned around. Mechanist. I think it's time to go. Bang bang bang. Shots were fired at the three villains, but they were gone in a purple portal even before the bullets could hit. Silver Shroud. Damn it, Punisher. We should have shot him earlier. Lady Nagant. Yeah, also how the hell did you get an atomic grenade? Silver Shroud. It's a quantum grenade anyways, we have another problem now. The doors of the USJ flew open as All Might. I am here. Lady Nagant. I am too tired for this now. Silver Shroud. I will deal with him. Silver Shroud walked towards the stairs. All Might. Stand down, Silver Shroud. There is no Captain Marvel to save you now. Silver Shroud. Well, All Might, then let me tell you one thing, she wasn't protecting me, she was protecting you from me. All Might gritted his teeth as he jumped down the stairs ready to throw a punch at the Silver Shroud. May. No, All Might, wait. May tried to warn All Might, but it was too late. All Might. Detroit SMA. Bang bang bang. 3 shots were fired as All Might flew past the Silver Shroud, landing on the ground coughing up blood. He was shot in both of his knees and 1 bullet was shot into his weak point at his side. All Might tried to get up but couldn't since his knees were shot. He looked up in anger only to see a barrel of a revolver pointing between his eyes. Silver Shroud. I told you, you should think clearly what you are doing. Izumi. Dad, get off him, you villain. Izumi jumped towards the Silver Shroud trying to hurt him with her telekinesis, but she was met with a kick to her face. She flew backwards and as she looked up she was met with the same view as her father. Lady Nagant. Stand down, girl, and let the adults talk. Punisher. Anyone else want to try something? The Punisher asked as he looked around. Just then the rest of the UA staff came through the door. They were shocked to see all the villains dead and the robots destroyed. They were even more shocked to see 3 of the world's most known anti-heroes. Silver Shroud. Good, Nezu is here. Silver Shroud put his revolver back into its holster as he walked away from All Might, who tried to grab him but was met with a kick in the face by the Silver Shroud. Silver Shroud. We will settle this another time, All Might. Hey, Iron Girl. May. It's Iron Lady. Silver Shroud. Call Fury for me, it's time we talk. The Silver Shroud then walked up the stairs followed by his 2 teammates. The staff were on edge as they were approached by the anti-heroes, even Nezu, even so he tried to keep a calm face. Nezu. We came here to save our students, but it seems that you 3 already took care of them. Punisher. Yeah, you're welcome. Silver Shroud. Anyways, I think we have to talk, Nezu. Fury should join us shortly. Nezu. What? Why? Silver Shroud. We need to talk, Nezu. It's time we work closer together. No one pav. The students of UA were shocked to say the least as they saw 3 of the world's deadliest anti-heroes walk through the halls of UA. Some were looking in awe, some in fear, and some others with hate at the 3 individuals, but everybody could feel the aura those 3 had. 3rd year hero student. No wonder they told us to stay away from them. 2nd year support student. Man, I am happy. I am not in the hero course to face them as the last thing I want to do. 2nd year hero student. Why am I shaking? Everyone backed away as the UA staff together with the 3 anti-heroes made their way towards the meeting room. Lady Nagant. Man, it's been a while since I last walked through those halls. Punisher. Oh right, you were a student here. Lady Nagant. The 3 happiest years of my life. Silver Shroud. Ever thought about becoming a teacher here? Lady Nagant. Nah, not really, as I was a slave of the Hero Commission, sure, but now I don't think that is possible anymore. Just then the group reached the door of the meeting room. Vlad King opened the door as Nezu hopped off his shoulder. Nezu. Please follow me. Nezu walked into the room followed by the three anti-heroes. Nezu took a seat at the end of the table while the anti-heroes took their seat on the left side of the table. Silver Shroud. Has Fury been informed? Nezu. Yes, he should be here any minute now. Just then the door was opened and Fury walked into the room, followed by Captain America and Black Widow. Fury looked at the Silver Shroud, but Silver Shroud just looked straight at the chair on the other side of the table. Taking the hint, Fury walked towards the chair followed by the two heroes. Black Widow kept one hand on her gun in case one of the three anti-heroes tries something. Fury sat in front of the Silver Shroud, Captain America in front of the Punisher and Black Widow in front of Lady Nagant. Silver Shroud. Good to see you again, Director Fury. Fury. So what do you want to talk about? Silver Shroud. The Mechanist. Fury. What does it give to talk about him? We now know that he is working with an organization called League of Villains. Silver Shroud. We are running out of time, Fury. Whatever the Mechanist is building, it's nearly completed. Black Widow. How do you know that? Silver Shroud. I have my ways, Black Widow. One of them is to always being one step ahead of my opponent. Fury. Is that so? Silver Shroud. Yes, as an example, I know that you placed Winter Soldier and Hawkeye on the roof, or that Iron Man, Moon Knight, Captain Marvel and Thor are just outside the door. Captain America and Black Widow tried to keep a calm expression but turned their eyes towards Fury. Fury just kept his normal expression as he looked directly into the eyes of the Silver Shroud. Fury. You Ray. Yo, is anybody there? The Silver Shroud turned his arm to show the monitor of his Pip-Boy to Fury. As Fury saw who was on the monitor, his eye widened. Fury, my old friend, how is it going? Winter Soldier in the background. Where the hell did he came from? Fury. Deadpool. Deadpool. In all of my glory. Just then Hawkeye pushed himself into view. Hawkeye. Sir, I have no idea how he got here or how he knew we were here. Then the door of the room opened again and in came a tall man with a royal-like cloak, pink hair, pig mask and a crown and a sword around his waist. Black Widow stood up in shock, one hand on her gun ready to pull it out any moment. Black Widow. Technoblade. Technoblade. Oh Natasha, it has been a while, hasn't it? Fury. You have to be kidding me. Silver Shroud. Fury, let me ask you one question. Fury looked towards Shroud again. Silver Shroud. As you and S.H.I.E.L.D. founded the Avengers, did you never consider that you, S.H.I.E.L.D. or the Avengers could turn evil? Fury. Silver Shroud. Well, I did, and so did many of my friends. The Avengers that were positioned outside the door came inside as three people followed them. Captain America and Black Widow's eyes went more and more wide as if they were about to pop out, while Fury just narrowed his eyes as he looked at the people that just walked inside and stood behind the Silver Shroud. Fury. Man-to-Man. Fury. Inspector. Fury. Ghost Rider. Then Winter Soldier, Hawkeye and Deadpool came walking into the room. The two Avengers joined their comrades who stood behind Fury while Deadpool joined the group that stood behind the Silver Shroud. Fury. Deadpool. Fury kept his normal calm expression but inside he was extremely nervous. Fury. You work together. Silver Shroud. We are those who are ready in case when the Avengers should turn bad. We are those who take down S.H.I.E.L.D. if necessary. We are those who will destroy a government and its country if it threatens the peace of this world. We are the Unstoppables. No one pav. It has been a week since the attack on the USJ and the reveal of the Unstoppables. For the entire week there was nothing else on the news than those two topics. All Might literally smashed his TV because no one was talking about how he got attacked by the Silver Shroud and wounded. Today was the first school day after the attack. Class 1A was sitting in their class talking to each other. The only ones that weren't talking to the class was the Izumi squad and some of the next-gen Avengers. Suyu. Even so, he killed nearly all of them. I must say it was really cool to watch him. Toru. I know, right? It looked so bad for us, but it looked so easy for him. It literally looked like a cakewalk for him. Mina. Yeah, and he didn't even use his quirk, or has he? Uraraka. Don't know, he could have a mind quirk or a quirk that helps with his aim like Snipe Sensei has. On the other side of the class, Ojiro was staring out the window as he heard the conversation and retorted while continuing watching out the window. Ojiro. He is quirkless. Momo. Ojiro. Everyone looked at Ojiro with a questioning look. Kirishima. Who is quirkless? Momo. No one. Ojiro. The Silver Shroud, he is quirkless. Momo. Ojiro. What, they would have found out anyway sooner or later. Katsuki. Bullshit. Izumi and her gang were standing fuming with anger. Izumi. There is no way that a quirkless bastard could kill so many people and robots without a quirk. Jiro. There is a way, it's called skill. Mei. And intelligence. Mirio. And the right equipment at the right time. Katsumi. Then how could he defeat All Might? He must have some kind of speed quirk, how else could he keep up with All Might? Ojiro. Tell me who would win, a guy with a gun or an idiot that charges straight at the guy with a gun? Mei. All Might isn't faster than a bullet, well, not anymore, maybe in his prime. Momo. Silver Shroud just pulled the trigger faster than All Might could run. Ojiro. Yes, but he also has an amazing aim. I mean, he managed to shoot All Might 3 times in less than a second, and 2 of them were aimed for his knees, and knees are hard to hit, especially when the target is moving as fast as All Might. Izumi. See, so he must have a quirk. Mei. No, that what he did is called a quick draw. Izumi went to retort, but before she could, Aizawa walked into the class looking like a mummy. The class went silent as Aizawa began his lecture. Meanwhile, with Izuku just woke up as he walked down towards the kitchen of his mansion. As he opened the door of the kitchen, he was met with the smell of pancakes and bacon. Jarvie. Good morning, Master Midoriya, have you slept well? Izuku. I have, Jarvie. The patrol last night was harder than I thought. Jarvie. I can imagine. Izuku sat down at the table as Jarvie brought him a mug with coffee and a plate with pancakes and bacon. Izuku. Is something planned for today? Jarvie. No, sir, as much as I know you have a free day today. Izuku. Have the parts arrived that I ordered? Jarvie. They have arrived 2 days ago, sir. Izuku. Then we should finish our job, should we? Jarvie. Yes, sir, but first eat your breakfast. Izuku. Yes, Jarvie. Izuku began eating his breakfast as Jarvie turned around, a soft smile on his face. Time skipped to later that day. Izuku. Jarvie, do you have the cross wrench? Jarvie. Yes, sir, here it is. Izuku. Thank you. Okay, then put this one on here, and finish. Izuku stood up and went besides Jarvie to look at their project. Izuku. Finally finished. Jarvie. That thing was a hard piece of work. Izuku. Yeah, the Germans really know how to make it complicated. Izuku. Want a test drive? Jarvie. Maybe later, sir, you have guests. Izuku turned towards the door where Jarvie is pointing and saw his 2 friends Shoto and Mineta together with some other people. Mineta. Yo, Izuku, what's up? Izuku. What are you guys doing here? Shouldn't you be at school? Shoto. Yeah, we only were called for an announcement, and after that we were allowed to leave. Mineta. Yeah, we were actually planning to come alone, but some of our classmates didn't believe us that we were friends with you, so we invited them as well. Shoto. I hope you don't mind. Izuku. Not at all, we just finished. Kirishima. Whoa, this car looks manly. Momo. Is that a BMW? Izuku. A BMW 2800 GTS Coupe, yes. Mina. What is that? Izuku looked over to the point where Mina was pointing. Izuku. That is a BMW Isetta, it's a cabin roller. I bought it together with the coupe, it is already fixed and I actually quite enjoy driving that thing. Mei. Oh my god. Mei run over to another car as everyone looked over and saw the car. Mei. It's a Plymouth Superbird. Mei was fangirling over the car as Izuku said. Izuku. She seems to love it. Momo. Yeah, Mei always liked old cars, especially Plymouth. Kirishima. I can understand why the car looks awesome. Izuku. It's also one of my most expensive cars in the collection, so watch out. Mei. Yeah, my dad is rich anyway, he can pay you back. Izuku. Just like Tony, I see. Momo. You know Mr. Stark. Izuku. Yeah, who doesn't know him is the better question. Momo. I meant it because you called him by his first name. Izuku. Oh yeah, Tony and my dad worked together, and as my dad died and I took over the family business, Tony helped me a lot in my first months as CEO. Momo. Oh, I understand. Izuku. Yeah, anyway, don't touch that. Izuku ran towards Mei as she tried to touch Izuku's newly painted Mustang GT 350. Everyone laughed at the scene, as Jarvie just stood by the side watching silently with a sad smile on his face. Jarvie. I wish you could see him, Hisashi. No one paw. Thug boss. Come on, go faster. Thug. We are trying, boss. Thug 2. But that thing is heavy even for me and I have a strength quirk. Thug 3. Couldn't that guy send some of his robots to do this? Thug boss. Stop your whining, that guy offered a lot of money for that thing. Thug 2. What is in there actually? Thug boss. I don't know, but it seems important to the guy that he offered so much money for it. Thug. To be honest with you guys, I don't like it to work for that guy. I mean, he literally massacred half of a town. Thug 2. Yeah, one of my buddies is working as a paramedic. He was one of the first there and he said he never saw so much blood in his entire life. Damn, he wasn't even there as it happened but he was still traumatized from the sight alone. Thug boss. Does somebody know where Jim is? Thug 3. He isn't coming, boss. Thug boss. Who does he think he is? I said that the entire crew has to be here. Thug 2. He said that he wouldn't work for the mechanist equally how much he pays. Thug boss. Why, that is a big deal for us. Thug 3. The robot of that bastard killed his nephew. He has to take care of his sister while his brother-in-law is in the hospital. Thug boss. Oh, I didn't know that. The thugs continued to carry the big box towards their van, but then the sound of a firing gun was heard and the thugs let go of the box, which fell to the ground with a loud crack. They all got into a fighting stance as they looked around. Thug boss. Is somebody here? Another shot was heard and the thug boss fell to the ground as he held his foot in pain as blood came out of the hole in his shoe. All thugs. Boss. One thug kneeled down besides his boss as he tried to help him while the others looked around in the dark, fear clearly written on their face. You should have stayed at home just like Jim. Thug 2. Who is there? You know who I am. I am the one you don't want to make angry. The thugs began to tremble as they felt a presence emerging from the shadows. I am. The figure stepped into the light holding a silver Tommy gun blinking in the dark. Silver Shroud. The Silver Shroud. The thugs took a step back before turning around and trying to run away, but they were stopped by a man with a pig mask. Technoblade. Going somewhere. Silver Shroud. Now tell me what is in the box. Thug 2. We don't know, we were just supposed to get it and deliver it. Silver Shroud. Where should you deliver it? Thug boss. To Kai Province, sir. Silver Shroud. To Kai why? Thug. We don't know. He just gave us a address and some cash for up and said we would get more as soon as we deliver the box. Technoblade. Is that all? Technoblade asked as he slowly pulled out his sword. Thug 3. No, he said that a guy with a brown leather jacket would be there and pick the box up. Silver Shroud. Anything else? Thug boss. No, that is all, I swear. Technoblade. Okay then, to the last question, is anyone from you a orphan? Silver Shroud. Technoblade no. Technoblade. Technoblade yes. Silver Shroud. Sigh, I feel merciful today, get out of here, but when I see you ever again doing something illegal then you won't enjoy it. The thugs nodded as they grabbed their boss and ran away from the two anti-heroes. Technoblade. You sure they won't warn the mechanist? Silver Shroud. Yeah, those guys were completely new to the criminal life, they probably will stay down if they don't want to run into me again. Technoblade. Okay, anyways, I guess that we are now delivering this box. Silver Shroud. No, I will call Fury to pick up the box while we will take their van and go to Kai. I will call the inspector as well for support. A magic user will surely be from great use. Technoblade. Okay then, I call the inspector while you call Fury and his gang. And so they did. The inspector was there immediately since she only had to open a portal and go through it, and as soon as she was there they got into the van of the thugs and drove off towards Kai City. Fury and his agents arrived 15 minutes later at the place and only found the box with a message on it. Sorry, but we had to go. We left you the box though. But watch out, that thing is heavy as fuck, and believe me when I say that you will be pretty shocked at what is inside of it. Technoblade. Fury threw the letter to the ground as he walked over to the box and saw that it was already being opened. He then lifted the lid of the box and what was inside it made him and everyone who was seeing it speechless. Shield agent. That is. Fury. Adamantium. Meanwhile, with the three anti-heroes. Inspector. So how are we going to do this? Silver Shroud. There will probably be a lot of robots beside that one guy that they were supposed to meet. Technoblade. He probably is planning to pay them back with bullets. Silver Shroud. Yeah, so we have to be ready to fight as soon as we get to the location. Inspector. I always wanted to visit Kai, but I didn't thought it would be like this. Technoblade. You can take your vacation after we have dealt with the mechanist. Inspector. How long till we are there? Silver Shroud. Around 2 hours. Normally it would 3 to 4, but luckily there is not much traffic tonight. Inspector. If I teleport us then we would be there much faster. Silver Shroud. True, but then there is also a danger that they see us too early, since they probably know that those thugs didn't have any magic users. Inspector. Touché. Technoblade. So what should we do until we arrive? With Fury. We can see Fury in his office on the Shield helicarrier. He looked over some documents that he had from the port where the box was found. He hoped to at least find out the ship on which the box was on, but no luck. It was like the box just appeared out of nowhere. Fury. That just doesn't make any sense. A box full of adamantium must come from somewhere and it must have been extremely expensive to get it, but it could also be that the adamantium was stolen from a legal organization. That would explain why nobody called out that a box of adamantium was stolen. Fury on the other hand was done for today. He would give that to one of his higher ranked agents so they could figure out where the box came from. As Fury walked to his bedroom he just had one thought on his mind. As the Silver Shroud with us or against us? Time skip to when the anti-heroes arrive in Kai. Silver Shroud. We arrive in 2 minutes, get ready. Technoblade stood up and pulled out his sword. It had a black blade that shimmered purple. Technoblade. I caramba donde está la biblioteca. Inspector. What the hell is wrong with you? Outside the car. Mechanist over earpiece. Did they arrive? Yes master, they have. Mechanist. Good, you know what you have to do. Yes master. A man in a brown leather trenchcoat stepped up to the vehicle as the back doors of the van flew open and Technoblade jumped out, followed by the inspector and the Silver Shroud. The man pulled out a white futuristic-looking rifle and pointed it at the anti-heroes. Who are you? Silver Shroud. Where is the mechanist? I ask again, who are you? Mechanist over earpiece. X6-88. What is going on? Do you have the adamantium? X6-88. There are 3 unknown individuals, master. Mechanist over earpiece. Wait, I log in over your eyes. X6-88. Yes master. The eyes of X6-88 turned into a glowing blue as the mechanist looked through X6-88 eyes. Mechanist over earpiece. I see X6-88. Retreat now, you stand no chance. X6-88. Yes master. X6-88 turned around ready to run away, but he was met with a kick to the face by Silver Shroud. He was sent flying backwards directly towards the inspector, who shot a fireball at him, sending him flying towards Technoblade. Technoblade. I caramba donde está la biblioteca. Technoblade thrusted at the flying man and pierced his shoulder before he pushed forward and pinned the man to the floor. X6-88 then punched Technoblade in the face so hard that it sended the anti-hero flying. He then ripped the sword out of his shoulder before standing up as if nothing happened. Silver Shroud began to shoot at X6-88 with his Tommy gun, but X6-88 ran to the next best cover he could find before shooting back with his laser gun. What surprised the 3 anti-heroes as they had to take cover from blue-colored lasers. Inspector. Since when does the mechanist have laser weapons? Silver Shroud. Don't look at me like this, this is also new for me. Silver Shroud reloaded his drum magazine before he got out of his cover. Silver Shroud. Spray and pray. He started to shoot at the position where X6-88 was taking cover. He walked towards the position as he continued to fire, giving his enemy no chance of shooting back. As Silver Shroud realized that he was close to the end of his magazine, he walked towards the next best cover, but before he could take cover he was met with a punch to the face. Silver Shroud. What the? He barely dodged a second punch before trying to hit his attacker with the buttstock of his rifle, but his rifle was grabbed and ripped out of his hands. Silver Shroud jumped backwards and attacked. He then tried to focus as he saw that X6-88 moved out of his cover and attacked him from the side while he was shooting at his position. Silver Shroud pulled out Pikmin's blade and his shock baton before he charged towards X6-88. Seconds later they were in fierce hand-to-hand combat. X6-88 tried to disarm Silver Shroud, but it failed as the Silver Shroud stabbed X6-88 hand and cut off 2 of his fingers. But no blood came out of the wound, and that shocked the Silver Shroud as he finally realized what the person he was fighting really was. Silver Shroud. You are a mechanist over earpiece. X6-88 get out of there now this instant. X6-88. Understood. X6-88 turned around about to run, but that was when Technoblade came back. He swung his sword and X6-88 tried to block it with his arm. The sword went right through his arm and cut it clean off. X6-88 but didn't care as he just continued to run as he had to dodge another attack from the inspector who was shooting fireballs at him. X6-88 then threw something on the ground before continuing to run away as the anti-heroes wanted to run after him. The flashbang grenade that X6-88 dropped to the floor went off, blinding them. As they recovered they looked around, but X6-88 was already gone. Technoblade. Looks like we have a runner. Inspector. Yeah. Silver Shroud. Well, at least he left us some gifts. The Silver Shroud picked up the laser rifle and the arm of X6-88, what he left behind. Technoblade. Can I have the rifle? Silver Shroud. No, at least not this one. I will make you one when I understand how he was able to build those. Technoblade. Deal. Inspector. Other question, what was that thing? A normal human would have died from blood loss for losing an arm. Silver Shroud. That thing was a robot. What else? A highly advanced human-like robot, a perfect killing machine. Technoblade. Man, that guy is a pain in the ass with his robots. Every time we meet them they have some kind of fancy new upgrades. Silver Shroud. Yeah, the mechanist is evolving. I think the showdown is near and we are running out of time. Time for a little of a backstory. No one Pav. Izuku. Good night, Jarvie. Jarvie. Not going on patrol tonight, sir. Izuku. Punisher and Nagant have me covered. Jarvie. Well then, good night, sir. Izuku. Good night, Jarvie, and don't work for too long. Jarvie. I could say the same to you, sir. Izuku went to his room and laid down on his bed. He closed his eyes and sleep took him over very fast. In the dream, Izuku opened his eyes to the sound of shooting and screaming. He was in his Silver Shroud costume, his silver SMG in his hands. His back was against a wall as bullets hit the other side of the wall or flew over his head. He looked to his left and saw the Punisher. Then he heard a familiar scream to his right, and as he looked to his right he saw a woman in a green suit with a white fur scarf around her neck pinned to her shooter with a red orb and AP-99 in her hand. This was the Mistress of Mystery, real name Rachel Redwing, and she was bleeding. Silver Shroud. Rachel. Mistress. Oh fuck, right through my shoulder. Punisher. Shit, those guys are coming closer, we need to move. Silver Shroud. How many are there? Punisher. At least 200. Looks like we pissed them off enough to form an alliance against us. Mistress. Well fuck, any ideas you two? Silver Shroud. Aren't you the one with the plan normally? Mistress. Haha, very funny. The shooting stopped and the 3 anti-heroes looked at each other. Silver Shroud, come out and you can die with some dignity. Silver Shroud. Oh, I give you dignity. Izuku cocked his SMG before standing up and opening fire at his enemy. The startled enemy thought he was out of ammunition. But not only that, also 2 other feared anti-heroes were there to back him up. The barrel of Shroud's weapon began to glow red because of how long he shot without pause. Thugs were falling screaming in pain or making dying noises as they were met with the barrage of the Silver Shroud. Punisher shot his shotgun empty and the Mistress of Mystery shot with her pistol. Mistress. Reloading, she said before going down behind the cover as she reloaded her gun, putting in a new magazine. Then she came back up and continued to fire. Silver Shroud. Reloading. Punisher. Got you covered. Silver Shroud went down behind the cover reloading his gun while also letting it cool down a little bit. Then he went up again opening fire, while the Punisher went down to reload. This went on for a minute until the Silver Shroud stopped shooting as his gun malfunctioned because of how hot the barrel became. Silver Shroud. Fuck. Silver Shroud went down behind the cover as he looked what was in front of him. He saw at least 50 dead bodies and around 30 wounded. The Mistress also went down behind the cover as she looked at her shoulder. The wound was still bleeding. Silver Shroud. We need to get you out of here. Mistress. No joke, that motherfucker got me good. Silver Shroud was about to say something, but then a grenade came flying over the cover. Silver Shroud covered the mistress while the Punisher covered himself as the grenade went off. The Silver Shroud could held his hat down while shrapnel bounced of his suit. As it was over, the Silver Shroud looked at the mistress and she was kind of fine, pale but alive. He then looked over to his SMG to see that it was completely destroyed. The Punisher got up from his covered position and pulled out his shotgun before going up screaming while shooting at the enemy. Seeing that his SMG was destroyed, Shroud pulled out his single-action revolver. He got up, aimed and fanning shoot, 6 bullets in under 20 seconds, hitting 6 guys in the head before he went down to reload his gun. "Mistress, why are you using that thing? It takes forever to reload." "Silver Shroud," says the one who only brought a fucking pistol. He finished reloading his gun as a thug came around the cover aiming his pistol at the Shroud. The mistress jumped in the way as the thug shot 3 bullets, 2 hitting her in the chest and the third one grazed her neck. She fell to the floor as Shroud pulled up his pistol and shot 1 bullet, killing the enemy with 1 clean headshot. Everything was silent for the Shroud. Punisher screamed at him. He didn't care. He kneeled besides the mistress as she coughed up blood. She then slowly lifted her hand as she laid her bloody hand on his cheek. His lips moved. She couldn't speak, but Shroud knew what she was trying to say. "I love you." She closed her lips as she had a soft smile on her face. Then her eyes went blank and her hand that was on his cheek fell to the ground as her last breath escaped her mouth and her body went limp. The Silver Shroud just kneeled there, still processing what just happened as he looked at her dead face before laid his hand on her cheek. "Punisher. Ood, Roud. Shroud." The Silver Shroud snapped out of his trance as anger started to build up inside him. He grabbed the pistol of the mistress before he jumped over the cover. The Punisher screamed after him, but he ignored him as he emptied his revolver and then threw it to the side before he began shooting with the pistol. He saw someone trying to charge at him from the side, but he pulled out a throwing knife. He threw it and hit the charging thug in the eye, causing the thug to fall to the ground screaming in pain. Shroud shot the magazine of the pistol empty and threw it to the side. He then pulled out his Bowie knife and his shock baton before charging at a group of enemies. He could feel how bullets bounced against his suit and how some hit his legs. But he didn't care. He kicked an enemy, he sliced at another and shocked another one. This continued for a while. Blood splashed through the air, arms, fingers, even legs, and some heads were flying around. The rage of the Silver Shroud was unstoppable. Then someone grabbed his shoulder and turned him around as he came face to face with the Punisher, who punched the Silver Shroud in the face, knocking him out. Dream end. Izuku woke up. Sweating and panting hard, he sat up and just sat there in his bed for a few moments. He had the same dream now 2 weeks in a row. He didn't know why his memories were torturing with this dream. It has been 1 year since the massacre, but he couldn't get it out of his head, and he don't know if it is about the death of the mistress or if it is about those 150 mafia members he killed that night. Either way, he did it and there is no denying it. He took a deep breath in and then out before he then leaned over to the shelf besides his bed, took his phone from the shelf and looked at the time. It was 6 a.m. He sighed before he fell back on his bed. "Izuku, I have to do the honoring today at the sports festival." He stared at the ceiling. "Izuku, I don't want to." "No one, Pa." We can see Izuku and Jarvie were sitting in the newly made BMW 2800 GTS coupe driving towards Ua for the sports festival. "Jarvie, sir, shouldn't I stay back and watch over the mansion?" "Izuku, you will like it, believe me, Jarvie." "Jarvie, if you say so, sir." They continued to drive, and as they arrive at the parking place in Ua they see a lot of limousines standing there, one looking fancier than the other, or extremely expensive sport cars. "Jarvie, I think we should have taken the limousine, sir." "Izuku, some people are just here to show off how rich they are." "Jarvie, talking about show off." Jarvie pointed towards a point and Izuku saw Tony in a silver armor. "Izuku, that must be his new Mark 50 he told me about. He is so a show off." Izuku parked his car in an empty parking slot and put out the engine before he and Jarvie got out of the car. The other CEOs and some heroes looked surprised that one of the richest people on the planet arrived with an old-timer instead of a limousine or expensive sports car. Some people tried to approach Izuku, but of course they were beaten to it by none other than Tony Stark. "Tony. Izuku, you are still into old-timers, I see." "Izuku. You know me, Tony, I love the old times." "Tony. So what did you get this time?" It's a BMW, so much is clear. Izuku. This is a BMW 2800 GTS Coupe. I got it from my last visit in Frankfurt together with a BMW Isetta. Tony. You got a Isetta. Izuku. Yes, and I also got a Citroën 2 CV Dolly from my vacation in the Provence. Tony. They are famous for a reason. Izuku. Anyways, ready to do the hero honoring. Tony. Yes, I got Mirko and Hawks, they saved one of my ships. Izuku. Well, I got Native and Ectoplasma, both of them saved several of my employees on several occasions. Tony. Well then let's go, the festival is about to begin. Izuku. Of course, come on Jarvie, let's go. The three walked into the building as many eyes were on them. The reasons for that was that two of the smartest and richest people on the planet were walking side by side, one of them wearing a high-tech battle armor and the other one wearing a extremely expensive Italian tailored suit as if it was the most normal thing in the world. Random woman. Isn't that Izuku Midoriya? Random hero. I heard that he is here to honor two heroes that saved his employees. Random man. Who are the two? Random hero. No idea, but I would have nothing against it to get some high-tech equipment for free. Random woman. I don't think you get anything, you have only been a hero for a year now. Random hero. I am doing my best, you know, mom. Izuku chuckled at the conversation and that catched Tony's attention. Tony. What are you laughing about? Izuku. Just remembering something. Tony. Oh okay, you know, the first time I watched the US Sports Festival was with your father. It was quite a show, I must say. There was a girl, for example, with a bunny quirk. She was really good. I saw that she would be a great hero, and well, now 4 years later she is in the top 10 of Japan. Izuku. Indeed, compared to Hawks, Mirko worked hard for her spot in the top 10. Even so, other heroes said she wouldn't get far without a flashy quirk. She still managed to get into the top 10. Tony. To be fully honest with you, I think she deserves the #1 spot more than All Might. Izuku. I agree also. What do you give her? Tony. Well, she mostly fights with her legs and her suit doesn't really protect her, so I will give her a suit that at least protects her from knife or sword attacks. Oh, and it is of course resistance to fire and electricity. It also doesn't slow her down, even so it covers more than her suit right now. As for Hawks, I give him a special made Kevlar brown leather jacket, strong enough to stop bullets but also close range attacks with a knife or some other close combat weapon, and a black combat suit. Make. For those who don't know, Kevlar can't stop a knife attack or arrows since they move to slow that the Kevlar isn't able to stop it. Tony. What did you get your heroes? Izuku. Well, for Native I have my new grappling hook gauntlet with some extras like an emergency signal in case he needs help, and for Ectoplasma, well, he is already a costumer from us. He bought our Model 201 prosthetic combat legs. He uses them for 3 years now, so I will give him the newest Model 206. I developed them especially for this. He can wear them in combat in his normal life. Tony. Wow, you give them quite the high-tech stuff, aren't you? Izuku. Ectoplasma saved the daughter of my best engineer, so as a thanks he made those especially for him. As for Native, with his tracking quirk he helps to find a lot of missing people. He also could find my workers that were taken hostage and put in a container, but he wasn't able to defeat the villain, so I give him the gauntlets so he can at least somewhat keep up in combat. The two billionaires continued their conversation, Jarvie joining them if he knew the answer to some things. Soon they arrived at the lounge for the honor guests, and to Izuku's big surprise many of the Avengers were there. To Izuku's and Tony's surprise, there also were Sentry and Moon Knight. Sentry. Oh hey Tony. Moon Knight. Stark. Tony. What are you two doing here? Moon Knight just pointed to his left and Izuku and Tony looked towards the direction he was pointing, and they saw Johnny Blaze, Ghost Rider, and Manta Man sitting there calmly talking to each other. Sentry. Fury called us saying he needs us here. Moon Knight. Only because 3 anti-heroes are here. Izuku. 3, I only see 2. Moon Knight. Who are you? Izuku. Oh, then name is Izuku Midoriya. Sentry. Oh, the owner and CEO of Midoriya Industry. Nice to meet you, sir. Sentry extended his hand for a shake. Izuku took his hand and shaked it. Izuku. Nice meeting you as well, Sentry. Sentry. About your question, the third one is currently getting some chimichanga. Tony. Of all people, why must he be here? Oh, don't be like that. Tony. Wade. Deadpool. Nice to see you, Tony. Tony. What are you 3 doing here? Deadpool. Our boss wanted us to check out the students also just in case something happens, you know. Moon Knight. The arena is full of heroes in case you didn't know. Deadpool. Oh, I know that, but our boss prepared something for the flaming trashcan #2 hero and we are playing security. Ghost Rider. Can you shut up and sit down, the festival is about to begin. Deadpool joined his anti-hero friends while Izuku joined Tony, Sentry and Moon Knight. They sat down in the front of the lounge as they listened to the introductions of the classes. Sentry asked. Sentry. Do you think the Silver Shroud is here? To which Izuku answered. Izuku. I don't think so. No one pav. The sports festival just started with their third event, the 1v1 fights. Sentry. To be honest, I am kind of hyped for this one. Tony. Really? Sentry. Yeah, I thought about taking someone as internship. Moon Knight. Some of them really look promising. I may take one of them as internship myself. Tony. Well, I will take my daughter at least if she decides to intern with me. Izuku. Well, this year has some very promising students. If you really want to intern, then you definitely will find them here or in Shiketsu High. Tony. What about you? Did you find someone interesting in the support course? Izuku. Well, there is a boy from Shiketsu's support course that catched my eye. I asked him if he was interested to work in my company after he finished school and he said yes. From UA here, sadly nobody catched my eye. Tony. No one. Izuku. Okay, maybe your daughter, but when it comes to UA's support course there are talented people for sure, but none of them really stands out. Tony. That is a pretty hard criticism for UA when it comes from you. Izuku. It's only the truth. While UA has outstanding hero course, their support course is only low to mid-tier compared to Shiketsu. Tony. Well, UA only has the support course now for 6 years, while Shiketsu's support course exists since 24 years, so there should be a difference when it comes to quality. Izuku. Yes, but it is the complete opposite when it comes to the hero course. Moon Knight. Well, UA was the first school here in Japan that had a hero course, the school in Hiroshima being the second and Shiketsu being the third. Sentry. Yeah, can you shut up now? The fights are about to begin. On the field. Present mic. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we get to the part you all have been waiting for, the 1vs1 fights. The stadium cheered of excitement. Present mic. For the first round we have Shoto Todoroki vs Hontasiro. Both contestants entered the arena as the stadium cheered for the fighters. Fight goes just like in the video. Sentry. That boy made short process with that guy. Moon Knight. But I feel like he could have ended this fight faster. Tony. What? Moon Knight. He was holding something back. Tony. Hey Izuku, he is your friend, do you know something? Izuku. I do, but I can't tell you, it's personal for him. Moon Knight. Bad family. Izuku. Sigh, bad dad. Moon Knight. Then I won't ask more. The fights continued and both of Izuku's friends were doing well. Sadly, Mineta had to drop out after he was found burned and beaten up. Izuku already knew who did that, but he gulped down his anger or else the plan won't work. Shoto lost to Momo Maximoff as he couldn't compete with her powers, even so he didn't had a chance. He still put up a good fight and the fight destroyed the fighting platform. Moon Knight. I see that Todoroki kid can summon ice only with one side and with the other one I guess he can use fire. Izuku. Yes, his quirk is Kaie, half cold half hot. With his right side he can use ice and with his left fire. Tony. So a perfect balance if you want to say it like that. Izuku. Yes, if you excuse me. Izuku stood up and walked towards the door. Tony. Where are you going? You gonna miss the final fight between Mei and Momo. Izuku. I have to talk to a friend. In the arena. We can see Mei and Momo walk into the arena both wearing their gym uniform, but we could see Mei with a silver and bronze colored suitcase in her hand. Momo got into a fighting stance while Mei just put the suitcase on the ground before stepping on it. The suitcase opened and 2 handles were seen. Mei grabbed the 2 handles and metal gauntlets started to move up her hands. She then lifted the suitcase and put it before her chest as the mechanism attached itself to her chest. Everyone looked with awe as Mei's self-made Mark V covered her body. She then also got into a fighting stance as she was thinking about how to beat Momo. Mei mind. A frontal attack would be bad idea against her, but if I take away her view then it should be easier to get near her to fire a blast or maybe even punch her. The signal to start came and Momo tried to grab May only to be blinded by May's built-in flashbang grenade launcher, before she flew at high speed towards Momo and punched her in the guts. Momo was sent flying backwards, but she catched herself with her powers before flying up in the air, but that was a bad idea, because as she opened her eyes she just saw a metal fist before her eyes. She tried to use her powers, but it was too late as she was punched in the face from May with full force. Momo flew towards the ground. She landed on her back, letting out a breathless gasp. She then threw up her arms to create a force field above her in hope to stop any attack that May would throw at her. Then May shot a blast from her chest piece towards Momo. Momo did her best to hold up the force field, but May's blast became stronger and stronger. Momo mind. Where the hell does she take the energy from? Her battery should be low by now. Momo started to push back and May pushed every bit of energy she had left into the blast, and then a loud boom followed by a cloud of dust covered the arena. There was no noise, everyone being silent waiting for something to happen. Then the dust cloud started to vanish, revealing May and Momo laying on the floor. Momo was laying on her back while May was laying on her belly face down. Midnight. Well, it seems like both fighters are out, so the one who... May. No, I am awake. Midnight. Huh, May. Can somebody please flip me over? Midnight walked over to the girl before kneeling down besides her as she put one hand under the girl's shoulder and the other under her belly, and then with a lot of effort the heroine flipped the armored girl onto her back. May. Thanks, Midnight. And our winner is May Hatsume Stark. The stadium cheered for her while May was just laying on the ground. May. Does anyone have any orange slices? Time skip 30 minutes later. Present mic. Now, ladies and gentlemen, after this epic festival we finally come to the award ceremony of our winners. The stadium cheered as the platform with the 3 first places came up from the ground. Present mic. On third place we have Mirio Tagata. The stadium cheered as Mirio smiled and waved at them. Present mic. In second place we have Momo Maximoff. Momo smiled as well and bowed. Present mic. And in first place the daughter of the famous hero and billionaire May Hatsume Stark. The stadium cheered and applauded for May, some even screaming her name. But the girl that was standing on the stand just looked tired as hell, so she gave a weak smile. Midnight. And now to the one who has the medals for our winners, our hero All Might. I am here, with the medals. Midnight. Might. All Might. Midnight. Sorry. After that All Might gave the winners their medals. Even so, he was smiling on the outside, he was cooking on the inside. He couldn't understand how his Izumi wasn't able to get into the top 5 when a girl with a weak quirk was first place, even so that girl was wearing a high-tech armor. The stadium cheered for the winners again, and then a new voice spoke over the speakers. Nezu. Hello ladies and gentlemen, as many of you know that every year after the sports festival for the first years that we have an event called the Hero Honoring, where certain heroes are honored by the people. The stadium cheered, many heroes smirking and hoping that their name is called out. Nezu. Now the first 4 heroes that get a gift are. Everyone in the stadium was silent as many heroes got anxious about who will be the 4 heroes. Nezu. The 4 heroes are Hawks, Mirko, Native and Ectoplasma. Mirko smirked. Hawks let out a woohoo. Ectoplasma seemed surprised. He certainly didn't expect it to be called out, and Native spit out the water he was drinking as he coughed, while the other heroes around him congratulated him. The 4 heroes then made their way down to the arena. As they were standing in the middle, 2 people came out of the shadow of the tunnel. One of the 2 people was multi-billionaire Tony Stark, also known as the hero Iron Man, and the other person was Izuku Midoriya, multi-billionaire and playboy. Many people were surprised to see the 2 richest people on the planet together in one place, and not only that, as one of them was walking around with a high-tech battle armor. The 2 were followed by 2 other people pushing 2 carts, and both carts had 2 presents on it. The 2 billionaires stopped in front of the 4 heroes and then started to give their presents to the heroes. Tony gave a small speech before giving his presents to Hawk and Mirko. Hawks liked the new jacket and immediately put it on, saying that the new jacket felt lighter than the old one, even so high quality material was worked into it. Mirko was happy as well. The new suit she got looked the same as her old one when it came to color, but it covered more of her body, and the leg armor and jump boosters on it would definitely help her a lot in a fight. Then there was the reaction to Izuku's presents. Native looked like he was about to faint as he saw the newest model of the famous Midoriya grappling hook gauntlet. Izuku. It has some extra features as well, like an emergency button and a taser punch. I hope this gauntlet will help you save people and take down the villains. Native. Thank you so much for your trust, sir. I don't know what to say. Izuku. Just keep up your good work and you might bring it far in the future. Then Izuku walked over to Ectoplasma as he presented his gift for the hero. It were 2 prosthetic legs that looked new and fancy. Izuku. You saved many of my employees over the years. Ectoplasma. One of them was an engineer for the prosthetic legs you are wearing right now, and as thanks for saving his and his family life he created those prosthetic only for you. We call them the Model 260C. I hope that they will be of good service for you. Ectoplasma. Thank you very much, Mr. Midoriya. I actually wanted to buy some new ones this year. After that, other heroes were honored, and of course All Might and Endeavor, but none of them got such high-tech gifts like Mirko, Hawks, Native and Ectoplasma. Just as everyone thought the festival was over, Nezu again spoke over the speakers. Nezu. I am sorry, but we are not finished yet. Many people were confused, some of them calling Nezu out to explain, especially one hothead. Endeavor. Make it quick, Nezu, we still have work to do. Nezu. Now this year we do something special. As many of you know, the last few months were wild with the uprising and massacre of the Mechanist, the Unstoppables and the Avengers. Many agreed with Nezu. Nezu. Since the Mechanist isn't defeated yet and we have to work closer together with both groups, we allowed one anti-hero of the Unstoppables to take one student as an internship. The same of course goes for the Avengers. Some people were surprised, some were shocked and some were pissed at the fact that someone of the Unstoppables was allowed to choose an internship. Nezu. Anyways, for the hero from the Avengers that is gonna choose a student is Songbird. Present mic. What? Aizawa. Stop using your quirk. Izuku. Why does he get a microphone at all when his voice already is that loud? Just then a figure came flying down from the sky. It was a woman with white and pink hair, a pink light like wings. One of my favorite Marvel heroines and extremely unknown, and in my opinion one of the strongest Marvel heroes. Songbird. Hello everyone. Oh hey Tony. Tony. Hey Songbird. Nezu. Hello Songbird, could you please pick the student you would like as your internship? Songbird. Of course. Songbird then landed on the ground before she walked towards a girl of class 1B. The girl had white hair in emo style with one part of the hair covering one of her eyes. The eye of the girl widened in shock and surprise as she saw the Avenger heroine walking towards her. Songbird. Reiko Yanagi, I choose you to be my internship. I am sure that we will work together great. Reiko. Thank you so much. I feel honored that you choose me. I can't thank you enough. Songbird. No need to thank me. I liked your performance and you did great work with your quirk. It's my honor that you have accepted to join me. Reiko bowed towards Songbird as the stadium cheered for the girl, but then Nezu spoke up again. Nezu. Now the next one to choose his internship is one of the most famous anti-heroes in the world. Everyone looked towards Deadpool, Ghost Rider and Manta Man, to see if one of them will choose. Manta Man. We are not the ones who choose. Deadpool. Nope, that is our boss. Everyone was confused until they heard footsteps coming from the tunnel. Some heroes gulped as a cold shiver went down their spine. Just then a figure stepped into the light, and who it was surprised, shocked many, and some were angered by his presence. Nezu. The one to choose is the Silver Shroud, leader of the Unstoppables. Endeavor and All Might got into a fighting stance ready to jump at the anti-hero, many heroes following them, while some stood in front of the students and Izuku Midoriya to protect them. All Might. Silver Shroud stopped right there. But the Silver Shroud just continued to walk towards them as his Tommy gun made a clack sound by every step he took. All Might made ready to attack. The same goes for Endeavor, but then Nezu spoke up. Nezu. Everyone stand down. The Silver Shroud is allowed to be here and to choose his internship. All Might. Nezu, you can't be serious to give a murderer like him an internship. Then someone else spoke up over the speakers. Fury. All Might stand down, this is a order. The same goes for you, Endeavor. All Might, not wanting to piss off Fury, stepped back. Even so he glared daggers at the Silver Shroud. Endeavor still was in a fighting stance, but he slowly stepped backwards with every step the Silver Shroud took towards him. And then he just walked past Endeavor, completely ignoring the presence of the Hellflame hero. The other heroes also stepped out of his way as he then stood in front of the two hero classes. At first he looked at the two classes before he began to move towards Shoto Todoroki. Endeavor. No. Silver Shroud. Shoto Todoroki, I choose you to be my internship, do you accept? Izumi. Shoto don't. Katsuki. Icy hot, I am gonna kill you if you accept. Shoto. Shut the fuck up, you two don't have to tell me anything. I accept the offer, thank you. Endeavor. No you don't. Endeavor stomped towards them, but before he could reach Shoto to lecture him, the Silver Shroud blocked his way. Endeavor. Get out of my way, villain. Silver Shroud. Rich coming from someone who abuses his family and caused his own wife to go crazy. Endeavor took a step back before he was in Shroud's face and screamed at him. Endeavor. How do you know this? Silver Shroud. I know a lot of things, Endeavor. I also know what you did to Minoru Mineta. Everyone looked at Endeavor as the flame hero took a step back again. Silver Shroud. You think so highly of yourself, thinking that things have to go your way, and when they don't you punch them into your direction. You are no hero, just a man seeking glory and power, nothing else. Endeavor. What do you know? I have fought for what is right. I carry scars from so many fights in my life. You don't know what real pain is, you don't know anything about this world. Silver Shroud. You got scars. Then strip and show them to me, I show you mine. There is not one part of my body, at the front at least, that doesn't bear one. I got scars from every weapon and quirk you can imagine. If you think you did a lot, then remember who is standing in front of you. Silver Shroud screamed into the fave of the Hellflame hero, who fell on his butt after the outburst of the anti-hero. The Silver Shroud then turned towards Shoto again. Silver Shroud. I see you next week, I will pick you up at the train station. Shoto. Alright. The Silver Shroud then walked out of the arena followed by his comrades. Time skip 30 minutes later. We can see Shoto and Mineta walking out of Ua. Mineta had bandages around his face. Shoto. Sorry for what my father did to you. Mineta. It's okay, but the next time I see him I am gonna beat him up. Shoto. I won't stop you. Neither won't I. Both Hero Course students turned around and saw their best friend standing there. Mineta. Izuku. Izuku walked up to them and then they started to walk towards the entrance. Shoto. You are not Izuku. Izuku. Yeah, I am not. He still got some business to do with Silver Shroud. Yes, both of them know that Izuku is the Silver Shroud. Mineta. So who are you? Izuku. I am Himiko Toga. I am a new member of the Unstoppables. Now come on, Jarvie is waiting at the car for us. Himiko walked towards the parking place followed by the two hero students. As Jarvie saw them approach, he bowed. Jarvie. Sir. Mineta and Sir. Todoroki, I guess that you will join us for dinner tonight as well. Shoto. You can call me Shoto. Jarvie, and I wanted to ask if I can stay over. Jarvie. Of course, sir. Shoto. For how long? Shoto. Till the internship if possible. Jarvie. We have to ask Master Izuku, but I don't think that he has anything against it. Shoto. Thank you, Jarvie. Toga. Yeah, can we hurry? I can't hold this form for much longer. Mineta. Yeah, also what does it give for dinner? Jarvie. Onion soup, carpaccio, spaghetti bolognese, and as dessert vanilla and chocolate mochi. Shoto. Great, I love your onion soup. Jarvie. Then let's go. Master Izuku will join us in a few hours. No one pav. 1 week after the sports festival. The room was dimly lit. A person sitting on a computer was seen. The person seemed to work on some kind of program. That person was the mechanist in his domain. You couldn't hear much besides the clicking of the keyboard and mouse of the computer. But then the silence was disturbed as a robot came into the room. This robot was one of the first robots the mechanist ever created, an iBot called EDE. Mechanist. Does it give something new? EDE. EDE. Beep bop. Mechanist. What problem is that? EDE. Boop beep. Mechanist. And how did that happen? EDE. Bop bop beep. Mechanist. I thought I programmed them that they don't do that. EDE. Beep beep. Mechanist. Very well, I will be done in a minute. EDE. Boop. The robot flew out of the room as the mechanist just sighed. Mechanist. I thought I made it right this time. The mechanist stood up from his table before he walked out of the room, but he left his computer on, and as we zoom in on the screen of the computer we see the name of the project on what the mechanist is working on. Project Liberty Prime, with Izuku, Shoto, So what are we going to do? Izuku stood in his silver shroud costume in front of Shoto. Izuku. Well, right now I have a present for you. I have been working on it for quite some time. Izuku walked towards one of the tubes and opened it. Steam came out of the tube and covered the view on the thing that was inside. Shoto stood beside Izuku, and then as the steam cleared, Shoto's eyes widened. Izuku. This suit is for you, Shoto. It is fire and ice resistance, so it won't be destroyed by you using your fire, and the two swords are made of vibranium. They also have the special feature that you can use your quirk on them, meaning you can send flying ice or fire cuts. Shoto. Holy shit, Izuku. Now put it on, it should fit you perfectly. 10 minutes later. Izuku. So how is it? Shoto. It feels nice, it feels more like a second skin than a suit. Izuku. That was the plan behind it. I see that everything works like it should. Can you do me a favor and try to use your quirk on your swords? The gauntlets should help you with that. Shoto concentrated on his arms and the gauntlets began to glow, the right one in cold blue color and the other one in a deep red. He then pulled out the two wakizashis on his waist. The right sword was surrounded by icy mist while the left one was surrounded by light red flames. Shoto looked at the two swords in his hands before he smirked. Shoto. Now this is awesome. Izuku. Glad you like it, but we wasted enough time already. Izuku put on his hat and pulled his mask over his nose. He then grabbed Pikmin's blade and his bowie knife before going into a fighting stance. Izuku. Now come at me with everything you have, Byako. Shoto. As you wish, Silver Shroud. Back with the Mechanist. We can see the Mechanist walking down the corridors of his HQ. He was walking towards a big door on the end of the corridor. He opened the door and walked inside, seeing robots flying around working on his masterpiece, but he also saw several of his robots on the ground as they malfunctioned. Mechanist. Not again. EDE was floating besides the Mechanist. EDE. Bop beep boop. Mechanist. Just reboot their system and reprogram them and put them to work again. EDE. Bop bop beep. EDE flew towards the robots as a small arm came out of her and connected itself with one of the malfunctioning robots. The Mechanist watched EDE rebooting the robots, but then he turned towards his masterpiece. Mechanist. Soon you will be finished. Liberty Prime, my masterpiece. Mechanist. Soon I will show this world how weak they are when I stomp their heroes to the ground. Ha 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 ha. Master. Mechanist. Huh. OX688 is your new arm working as it should? X688. Yes, Master, it does. Mechanist. Good. Do all systems work as they should? X688. Yes, Master, my systems are all clear and sharp. Mechanist. Good. Good, then it is time for your new mission. X688. What is my mission, Master? Mechanist. I want you to kill 2 people who could be a big threat to our army. X688. The Silver Shroud. Mechanist. No, but those 2 are just as big of a threat to us. X688. Who is it, Master? Mechanist. I want you to kill May Stark and Tony Stark. X688. Understood. With Izuku, this is the last one, I swear. Shoto. Ah, my hands hurt so bad. Izuku. We need to work on your sword style. Also, your fire sight needs a lot of work as well. Your ice sight is strong, so that doesn't need work, for the moment at least. Shoto. How comes that you are okay by all of this? Izuku. My suit is resistance to nearly everything, and thanks to my super soldier serum I can take much more than I used to. Shoto. Other question, what was that thing with what you destroyed my ice wall? Izuku lifted his hand. Izuku. You mean this? This is one of my newest inventions, I call it Pushy. Izuku. Pushy can send out shockwaves that are strong enough to send even heavy guys flying. I knew that I wouldn't get through your ice wall with my knives, so this was the perfect situation to test it. Shoto. You know, one day you will kill me with your inventions. Izuku. Be happy that I didn't try the Fat Man. Shoto. Fat Man. Izuku. That thing over there. Izuku pointed towards a desk where a big launcher-like thing was on. Shoto. What the hell is that? Izuku. A launcher for mini nukes. Shoto. Mini nukes. You have fucking mini nukes. Izuku. Yes, believe me if I say that we will need that thing in the future. Oh, also here. Izuku grabbed something from the table besides him and threw it towards Shoto. Shoto catched it and saw that it were some kind of goggles. Shoto. What is that? Izuku. That is my old night vision goggles. I don't need it anymore, so I decided to give it to you. You will need it more than me. Shoto. Ha ha ha. First you give me a new suit with special swords, then you give me a beating, then you literally tell me that you have nukes, and then I get your old night vision goggles. Izuku. I would say that this was a perfect first day for your internship, and tomorrow you will go on your first patrol. Shoto mind. I hope the patrol is more merciful than he is. No one pav. We can see Shoto in his new suit training with his two swords as Izuku walked over to him in his Silver Shroud suit. Silver Shroud. Come on, we are going on patrol. Silver Shroud walked towards a black and silver car. Shoto. Holy, that thing looks sick. They got into the car and put their seatbelts on, and as Izuku started the engine of the car, Shoto asked. Shoto. How fast is this thing? Izuku just looked at Shoto before a smirk appeared on his face before he stepped on the gas and the car took off. That caused Shoto to scream. Shoto. Ah. Jarvie. I should have warned, sir. Shoto. He will be fine. Hosu. Same time, we can see 6 figures standing on top of an apartment building overlooking the city of Hosu. Shigaraki. Go my Nomus. The 3 Nomus jumped down the building and started to cause havoc as the other 3 were left behind. Then the person in a brown leather trenchcoat walked away from Kurogiri and Shigaraki. Shigaraki. Huh, where the hell do you think you are going? X688. Fulfilling my master's orders. X688 then jumped down the building, while Shigaraki and Kurogiri are left behind. Kurogiri. It is very unlikely that he will have success. Shigaraki. We are talking about fucking Iron Man and his daughter versus a fucking Terminator. He stands no chance. Kurogiri. Then why send him alone? Shigaraki. That is a good question though. In an alleyway not far away we can see the hero killer Stain standing over to downed figures. He was bleeding from his head. The first hero he went after landed a pretty good hit on him and nearly took him out. When it weren't for his luck that he managed to cut him, he was worthy, thought Stain, but as he was about to walk away he was attacked by a hero student. The attack surprised him, but it didn't took him long to take down the wannabe hero. He was about to kill him when he heard an explosion not too far away. Stain. What are those idiots doing now? Stain then brought his attention back to the downed hero student. He could see Native who tried to move but couldn't, as he ripped out his sword from Ida's shoulder. He lifted the sword ready to end the hero student's life while he screamed something about his brother, but before he could bring down his sword he had to dodge another attack. He jumped back as he tried to gain distance between him and the new attacker. Stain. Why is everyone getting in my way today? As answer he had to block an attack of flaming sword. His sword started to heat up and it started to glow red. He pushed the sword of the attacker away but was greeted by a second sword that cut his cheek. He just jumped backwards again, but as he landed his left leg was encased in ice. Stain pulled out one of his machetes and broke the ice before going into a fighting stance and looking towards his opponent, and his eyes widened a little bit as he saw the person in front of him. Stain. So you are the protege of the Silver Shroud. Iida. T. Todoroki. Shoto. What the hell were you thinking, Iida? Iida. This isn't your fight, get out of here. Shoto. Oh hell no, now it is my fight. Stain. You are the kid that has been chosen by the Silver Shroud, why are you here? Shoto. I have my reasons, but that shouldn't be any of your concerns. The only thing you should be concerned about right now is our fight. You can be happy. Actually, at first the boss himself wanted to fight you, but something else came in his way. Shoto got into a fighting stance, one sword in front of him and another one above his head. Shoto. So it will be me you have to beat. Meanwhile in Hosu. X688 POV. The heroes tried their best to fend of the Nomus. Amongst the heroes were Iron Man together with his daughter. The Nomus were mostly no problem since there were so many heroes around, but they distracted the heroes long enough so that another enemy could sneak up behind them. Smaller hero. Huh, that wasn't that hard. Smaller hero too. You are only saying that because there were bigger heroes that took those beasts down while you. Crack. Smaller hero. Huh. The hero looked to his right to see his comrade falling to the ground dead, but before the other hero could react his head also was snapped. Then a man walked over their dead bodies as he proceeded on his mission. Mechanist over intercom. X6 to 88 status report. X688. The heroes took out 2 of the 3 Nomus. Mechanist. I knew those dumb beasts weren't enough. I will send Z02, so wait until the heroes are distracted enough. X688. Yes, master. X688 then walked back into the alleyway he just came from, hiding in the shadows until there was an explosion. As soon as that happened, he walked out of the alleyway and stepped onto the street. He saw his 2 targets flying just ahead of him as they were fending off the new threat that just arrived. He took his laser rifle from his back and aimed. His rifle was upgraded since the fight against the Silver Shroud. It was upgraded by the Mechanist and can shoot now much stronger and more precise beams. So he took aim, but as he was about to shoot, the rifle was ripped from his hands and he was punched in the face. He stumbled backwards and then received another punch to the guts, but that punch sended some electrical shock through his body. Mechanist. X688. What is going? Did you eliminate the target? X688. You. Under A. Ada. He was punched again, sending another electric shock through his body. Some of his cables started to burn as smoke came out of his right ear. He tried to counter with a punch of his own, but it was simply blocked, before he was punched in the face again, this time breaking his sunglasses he was wearing. He jumped backwards, making a backflip to build some distance between him and his opponent. He looked towards his attacker only to see bullets flying towards him. He didn't manage to dodge them, and one bullet went through his left shoulder while the other one went through his right eye. He slowly started to malfunction, but he still got up. Smoke also was now coming out of his right eye. His left eye that was still working was now looking at his opponent. In front of him stood the Silver Shroud, his silver Thompson SMG pointing at him as he switched from a drum magazine to a straight clip magazine and then cocked his gun. Mechanist. X688. Get out of there now. But it was too late for X688. Silver Shroud. Spray and pray. And that was it for X688 as explosive bullets hit his torso, ripping his body apart. He couldn't feel pain, but he registered how the connection to his limbs was separated. Silver Shroud stopped firing as the great X688 was laying on the ground. One of the most expensive and high-tech robots was laying on the ground, defeated by a human with ease. His head was still working and his left eye, as he saw that the Silver Shroud now was one step in front of him. Silver Shroud paw. I pulled out my Bowie knife as I stood above the runner, and then I lifted it above my head before slashing down, cutting off the head of the robot. I then lifted up the head and looked into his one working eye, and I could tell by the little red glow in his eye that the Mechanist was watching. Silver Shroud. I am coming for you next, Mechanist. No one paw. With Byako, Shoto. We can see stain on the ground. Ice was covering his legs and arms, and one long burned cut was across his chest. Stain. Damn, you are good. Shoto just looked down on the downed hero killer as he turned around to see that Native finally was on his feet again. Native. Man, this is embarrassing. I am a hero and I couldn't do anything. Shoto. This isn't true. When it weren't for you weakening him, then I probably would have lost, so I dare say that you did a good job. Native. Thanks for that, but I will have to face the consequences for my failure. Shoto. Well, at least you don't have to face the consequences that are about to hit him at his hero he is interning with. Shoto said, pointing at Iida. Native. You are right there. Iida. Why, Shoto? Iida. I should have beaten him. He was the one who crippled my brother. I should have been the one who makes him pay. Native. Now listen here, boy. I knew your brother and he is a great hero, and he always talked of you, of how great of a hero you will be and all that. He knew that being a hero came with the risk of losing his life, or maybe even worse. So do you really dare to think that he wanted this? That you die seeking revenge for him? No, he wouldn't have. He would blame himself for your death, or if something would have happened to you, so stop seeking revenge for someone who hates revenge. Iida had tears in his eyes as he looked at the hero in a mixture of surprise and sadness. Shoto just stood there with big eyes. Hoi. Shoto. Native, Iida and Stain. They turned towards the voice and saw the Silver Shroud walking into the alleyway, a bag in his hand. He looked at the scene before him and saw Stain on the ground and a wounded Native and Iida before he turned to Shoto. Silver Shroud. You took the hero killer down. Shoto. I only finished him off. Native here was the one who did most of the work. Silver Shroud. I see. Silver Shroud walked over to Stain and looked down on the hero killer. Stain wanted to say something but found himself unable to as he looked into the cold eyes of the Silver Shroud. Silver Shroud then just turned around and began to walk away as he said. Silver Shroud. Good work by Akko, now let's go, we still have work to do. Shoto. Yes sir. They walked out of the alleyway as Stain screamed. Stain. By Akko, you are a true hero, and so are you, Silver Shroud, you are both true heroes. No one pav. It has been a week since the fight against the hero killer Stain, and now the internships were ending. Iida had luck that he wasn't expelled, thanks to the Silver Shroud and the chief of police. Now everyone believes it was Native who took down Stain, which boosted his career. He went from place 505, I don't know his exact hero rank, to 305, which is quite a big jump. Anyways, we now go to the first day of school after the internships have ended. Ojiro. Man can't believe that such a no-name hero took down Stain. Momo. Ojiro, Native isn't a no-name hero. Native is a good hero, and he also gets a lot of support since the sports festival. Kyoka. Yeah, actually it's really fascinating how much he grew in popularity after he was honored by Midoriya. Momo. Yeah, and him defeating Stain just boosted it even more. Mirio. Well, it is not like he defeated him easily, I mean he got a pretty nasty wound on his shoulder. As the class talked about their internships, they didn't realize that the door opened as Shoto and Mineta came walking in. They went to their seats and sat down quietly, and then the door opened again, this time louder, as Katsuki and Katsumi came walking in. Katsuki looked pissed while Katsumi tried to hold back her laughter at her brother's hairstyle. Hiroshima and Siro. Ha 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 ha, holy crap. What the heck, Bakugo ha. Katsuki. Stop laughing. My hair has gotten used to it, so it won't go back even after I wash it. Stop laughing. I will kill you. Siro. I like to see you try, side part boy. Then an explosive sound was heard as Katsuki's hair became his usual style again. Katsuki. What did you say? Hiroshima and Siro. It's back. At that moment Aizawa came walking into the classroom, silencing the class. Aizawa. Hello class, I hope the internships have been educational for you. Some people nodded while some just looked disappointed. Aizawa. I see, well everyone get your suits on and meet me in All Might near Training Ground Delta. Meanwhile in the HQ of the Mechanist. EDE. Beep. Mechanist. What is it, EDE? EDE. Bop bop beep. Mechanist. Oh, it is finished, then come on EDE, let's look at it. The Mechanist walked down a hallway towards the hall where Liberty Prime was being built, and as he entered he saw his newest creation. Mechanist. It's perfect. EDE. Boo up. Mechanist. This EDE is my way to finally leave this weak meat body and to finally get my real body. My real metal body. Ha 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 ha. Back in UA, we can see Class 1A on the training ground as All Might explained the exercise to them until he realized that 2 students were still missing. All Might. Where is young Todoroki and young Mineta? Izumi. Mr. Aizawa wanted to talk to them about something. All Might. Oh okay then, well Group 1 can start in the meantime. Ojiro, Iida, Siro, Ashido and Yagi are up first. As the group started, Shoto and Mineta came walking in. Kirishima was the first one to see them. Kirishima. Oh Todober, holy cow, you two got new suits. Shoto. Yeah, Shroud made me one. Mineta. I got mine from Izuku. Kirishima. Man, I really should ask that Midoriya guy if he makes a new suit for me too. Mineta. Maybe if you ask nicely he may do it. All Might. Ah, young Mineta and Todoroki, you are finally here. Your new suits look great. Shoto and Mineta. Thank you. All Might. Anyways, let me explain what we are doing today. In Nezu's office. Nezu. I believe my office is slowly turning into a meeting place. Said Nezu to the 2 people in his office. One was Fury and the other one was the Silver Shroud. Fury. So why did you want this meeting? Shroud pulled out a tablet from one of his pockets and gave it to Fury. Silver Shroud. During the internship, as the Nomus and robots attacked Hosu, the Mechanist sent another robot after Iron Man and his daughter. Nezu. I guess you stopped him since Mr. Stark and his daughter are well. Silver Shroud. Yes, but this was a special robot, as you can see on the tablet. This robot was designed for spying, sabotaging and assassinations. I call them synths because they nearly are a perfect human copy. Fury. I can see that you wrote that down here. Silver Shroud. Swipe to the next file. Fury swiped over the tablet showing the picture of a man that looks very familiar as his eye widened. Silver Shroud. I got this picture off of the memory card of the synth, believe me I was just as surprised as you. Nezu. What are you talking about? Fury gave the tablet to Nezu. Nezu looked at the picture on the tablet for a few seconds before putting it down on the table. Nezu. Well, this is very surprising considering that we thought he was dead. Fury. Why is he doing this? Silver Shroud. He is quirkless and his brother ruined his life whenever he could. Fury. He was one of my best agents. Silver Shroud. Often it doesn't take much for a man to go crazy, all it needs is one bad day. Nezu. Well, at least we finally know who he is. Silver Shroud and Fury just nodded as they sat in silence for a moment. Then Fury grabbed his phone and called the helicourier. Fury. Fury to helicourier. We know who the mechanist is, give out a search warrant for Mihai Yagi. Nezu. It looks like this case is finally coming to a close. Silver Shroud. So it seems, so it is. No one pav. Izuku Midoriya was a very busy man, besides the fact that he was the anti-hero Silver Shroud and the leader of the Unstoppables. He also had an international company that he needed to take care of, and his newest invention, the grappling hook gauntlet, and the new and improved prosthetics limbs were a big hit on the market. Right now we can see him sitting in his office in his HQ building in Tokyo having a meeting with his investors as they go over the numbers of the last quarter. Office worker. And as you can see the worth of our shares has gone up by 25%, this is the biggest rise since 10 years. I dare say that this quarter has been the most successful one we had since the death of Mr. Hisashi Midoriya. Investor 1. If this continues through the rest of the year, then this might be as well the most successful year since the founding of Midoriya Industries. Department Manager. This new gauntlet definitely catapulted our success up. Investor 2. Not necessarily, the other products are still bought in large numbers even so they aren't the newest. I think the high quality of the products are the reason for that. Investor 1. That could be, I mean the capture scarf is still a big hit by underground heroes as well as the night vision goggles, and they have been on the market for 3 years now. Izuku. Well, I dare say that our newest products will be a big hit as well, but we can't rest on our achievements for too long. Department Manager. Yes of course sir, but we can give our workers some time to rest before starting the next project. Investor 2. Well, Mr. Midoriya here has a point. There are a lot of tech industries that would love to take over. Investor 1. Yeah, but I think we can rest a little bit for the next quarter at least. Investor 2. Yeah, well, I still have 3 meetings today, so I will take my leave. Investor 1. I will do the same. It was nice seeing you again, Mr. Midoriya. Izuku. I can say the same. Well then, until in 3 months then everybody. Everyone left the meeting room, the office of Izuku, until it was only him and Jarvie. Jarvie. Sir, it's 2 p.m. and your date with Miss Stark is at 4 p.m. Izuku. I know Jarvie, come on, let's finish up here before I have to get her. Jarvie. Of course sir. Time skip. Question mark question mark question mark. Pav. I managed to get away from the bad man and was running through some dark dirty streets. I have stepped into some sharp glass sharps and they hurt. But I can't stop now, I have to get away. I know he is following me, so I have to be quick. I ran through a dark street as I could hear him behind me. Come on Eri, you know what happens when you run. I was afraid I knew what happens when he catches me, and so I keep running even so my feet hurt and then I fell. But I got up again and just continued to run, until I could see a light at the end of this dirty dark way. I ran towards it and then I ran into something or someone. I fell on my butt and my eyes were closed until I heard a gentle voice ask, "Hey, are you okay?" I looked up and saw a woman with pink hair and yellow eyes that had weird circles and crosses inside. Then I felt a pull in my chest and I hugged the woman tightly and whispered into her ear, "Eri, help me." No one pav. We can see Eri hugging Mei as Izuku just stands beside them. Mei's eyes were wide as she heard the girl asking her for help. Izuku heard it too and he reached into his jacket ready either to pull out his phone or his gun, and yes, he always carries a gun around. "Ah Eri, there you are. I am sorry about my daughter, she just has the thing of running away. Come on Eri, let's go home." The girl who seems to hear the threat in his voice pulled away from Mei, but she was stopped as Izuku put a hand on her shoulder and stepped forward, still with one hand in his jacket. Izuku. Why does she have so many bandages around her arms? She is clumsy, she falls a lot. Izuku. I see, well then you don't have anything against it if we accompany you too, just to make sure there aren't any more accidents. Of course not, follow me then. Mei stood up, airy in her hands as they followed the man. She then leaned over and whispered to Izuku. Mei. What are you doing? Izuku. This is Overhaul, a Yakuza boss, and he also works with the Mechanist. Why though, I don't know. Mei. How do you know this? Izuku. I have a lot of secrets, Mei, and this is one of those, and now would you be so kind to cover the girl's eyes and ears? Mei did what she was told, as she just looked extremely confused as Izuku stepped forward. Her eyes widened as he pulled a pistol with a silencer on it out of his inner jacket pocket and pointed it at the back of the Yakuza boss. And then Overhaul turned around ready to attack them, but he froze as he was met with the view of a pistol pointing directly between his eyes. Overhaul. What the? How didn't he realize that the guy was standing directly behind him? Izuku. What do you know about the Mechanist? Overhaul. Who the hell do you think you are? Izuku. I am the guy who could blow your brains out with a simple move of his trigger finger. Now tell me what you know about the Mechanist. Overhaul gulped as he considered his chances of reaching Izuku with his hands before he pulls the trigger. He slightly his hands. Izuku. Don't even try it, I know how your fucking quirk works. This is your last chance, tell me what you know about the Mechanist, you waste of human space. Overhaul. Not a lot, I swear. He contacts me via one of his robots. Izuku. What does he want from you? Overhaul. He found out about my work to create a permanent quirk eraser. Izuku. And, Overhaul. We made a deal and I sold some quirk erasing bullets to him. 2 weeks after that he contacted me again. This time he asked if I could make a quirk erasing gas bomb. Izuku. What did you say? Overhaul. I said that it could be possible but that it would take time. He gave me 3 months or else there would be consequences. Izuku. How long ago was that? Overhaul. Around 2 months, shortly after he massacred this small town. Izuku. How far are you with this gas bomb? Overhaul. I am far from finishing it. The size he wants would at least take a year to finish. Izuku. And you need the girl to create those quirk erasing drugs? Overhaul. Yes. Izuku. Do you have anything else about the Mechanist? Mei just stood there holding Eri close and safe as she just stared at the scene in front of her. So many questions were running through her head about how Izuku knew that this guy works with the Mechanist, or from where the hell he got that gun from. Izuku. Is that all? Overhaul. Yes. Then a silent bang could be heard as blood splattered out of the back of Overhaul's head and he fell to the ground dead. Mei just stared in shock as a guy she has known for a long time now just killed a guy without any remorse. Izuku meanwhile put his gun back into its holster that was attached under his armpit. He then pulled out a card. Mei nearly fainted as she saw the card. All of a sudden everything made click in her head. Izuku let the card fall onto the floor as he walked back to Mei while he pulled out his phone. Mei. What the fuck? Izuku. Watch it, there is a child here. Come on, I will explain everything at the mansion. They walked out of the alleyway, Mei still holding onto a shivering Eri. Izuku dialed a number on his phone as he called someone. What is it now, kid? Izuku. Castle, take Nagant, Techno and Manta and clean up that Yakuza base. Take the files about the quirk erasing drugs and bring them to me or destroy them if necessary. Punisher. What about their boss Overhaul? Izuku. Dead. Punisher. I see, well I will get the team and clean up there. Izuku. Good, I will call you later. Izuku hung up before dealing a new number. Izuku. Hello Jarvie. Jarvie. Is your date already over, Master Midoriya? Izuku. It was cut shortly. Jarvie, would you be so kind to get us at ************* street ******************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************* turned to Mei, who tried to calm the shivering girl in her arms. "Mei, it's okay now, the bad man can't hurt you anymore, you are safe now." That seemed to calm the girl a little bit. Mei then turned to Izuku, a serious expression on her face. "Mei, you have a lot of explaining to do." "Izuku, I know, and I will explain everything to you, but not now. First we should focus on getting her to a hospital," Izuku said as he pointed at Eri, and Mei nodded as she was rubbing the back of the child in a calming manner. With the Mechanist. We can see the Mechanist looking over the news as he sees the report about the destruction of the Yakuza base. He sighed and took off his glasses as he pinched the bridge of his nose. Mechanist. Incompetent bastards, sigh, celebrate your little victory as long as you can. Silver Shroud, your end is coming soon enough. No one paw. We can see Izuku and the rest of the Unstoppables standing in the Shroud Cave in an awkward silence as Izuku worked on his computers and Mei was just standing there looking at the anti-heroes. But luckily for her, Izuku soon addressed the people in the room. Izuku. Whatever this project of the Mechanist is, he is either close or already done with it according to the informations we have. Izuku turned around as his computer went over a map of Japan, going through every village and city that existed as he tried to find the HQ of the Mechanist. Man to man. So why not attack now then? Izuku. Either he waits for the right moment or a crucial part isn't working yet. Punisher. So Simple said we have to find his HQ before he can start whatever he is planning. Izuku. Yes. Technoblade. Man, what happened to the good old times as you simply tortured some guys until you got what you wanted? Inspector. Those times are gone. Luckily also it wouldn't work on those foes that we are facing at the moment. Ghost Rider. Robots have no soul that could be punished or a real body that could be burned. Deadpool. And they can't feel pain. Well, maybe they can. Technoblade. I bet $20 that I could make them feel pain. Deadpool. I am in. Lady Nagant. Why did we allow those two to join us again? Deadpool and Technoblade. Because you love us. Lady Nagant. Oh God. Punisher. Anyways, do you have any idea where his HQ is? Izuku. Thanks to the chip of the runner and informations from other destroyed robots, we can say that he most likely is either in the region of Kanto or Kai. Mei. A little more specific. Everyone looked at the only Avenger in the room. Mei. What? Izuku. He is probably somewhere where he can work in peace, nobody to disturb him or that could call the police or heroes because of suspicious behavior. Mei walked up to the computer behind Izuku and started tipping something on the keyboard. Mei. So we need a place that has enough space to build big things in it, that is far away from any kind of civilization and where nobody would get suspicious when it gets loud there. Mei just continued her work as everyone looked on the screen of the big computer at what was happening. Izuku. What are you doing? Mei. Hacking into the database of the JSDF to see if there are any old left behind facilities or factories. Izuku looked with interest as Mei managed it to hack the JSDF, and after 5 minutes of search 3 pictures appeared on the screen. Technoblade. So I guess that mecha guy is hiding in one of those 3 buildings. Mei. Probably the description would fit. A lot of space, no people around, abandoned. Punisher. And nobody would wonder when something explodes there, I guess. Izuku put up the files of the 3 buildings. Izuku. No, all of those 3 facilities produced weapons and ammunition for the JSDF. The second building there even produced tanks. According to the files, the tools and everything was left behind as they gave it up. Lady Nagant. Perfect for someone who wants to build a robot army. Punisher. Aren't those things guarded normally? I mean, even if they gave it up, it's still military property. Izuku. Japan doesn't have a military. The JSDF is officially a branch of the firefighters. But yeah, you are right, normally they are guarded or at least observed. Deadpool. So what should we do now, boss? Storm those buildings? Izuku. Yes, but we will do it like this. I will call Fury and Nezu telling them about the buildings. We will form groups, one being the Avengers, one the Japanese heroes, and then we. Then every group will be assigned one of the buildings. If the Mechanist is then really in one of those buildings, the other 2 groups have to abandon their mission and aid the team that found the HQ. Everyone nodded as Izuku continued. Izuku. The raids will start tomorrow, so make ready for battle. Deadpool and Technoblade. Yes, sir. Both saluted before turning around and walking away, followed by all the other anti-heroes of the Unstoppables. Then only Mei and Izuku were left alone in the room. Mei glared at Izuku, but Izuku simply turned around and took the phone that was on the table. He put a number in and was about to call Nezu when Mei wouldn't have stopped him. Mei. We need to talk. Izuku. Sigh, I know, but can we please do that after I am done with this, please? Mei looked down to the floor before closing her eyes and nodding. Mei. Okay, I will call Fury and tell him about the situation. Izuku. Mei. I won't tell him about you, but I hope for you that you have a good explanation for later. Izuku. Of course, and thank you. Mei. You're welcome. Izuku called Nezu while Mei called Fury, telling them about the situation. Nezu immediately called the top 20 heroes of Japan while Fury called in every Avenger that was available and of course the next-gen Avengers. Nezu. We will raid this former military base tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. Endeavor. Are we sure that the Mechanist is there? Nezu. There are 2 other buildings where the Mechanist could be as well. Hawks. And what is with them, are we sending no one there? Nezu. The Unstoppables and the Avengers and their next gen will take over the raid on the other 2 facilities. Mirko. Well then, let's hope that bastard of a Mechanist is in our building. Hawks. Yeah, Nezu. Don't be too full of yourself, we don't know what we are about to face. All Might. Why are you worried? You have the 20 strongest heroes of Japan attacking one guy and a bunch of robots. How hard can it be? Edgeshot and Best Jeanist sat in a corner silently, both of them not liking the picture before them. Best Jeanist. I have a bad feeling about this. Edgeshot. They act like children. Tony. So we finally got that bastard. Fury. Hopefully. Captain America. Who would have thought that he is hiding so close to Tokyo? Sentry. He is either extremely cocky or he knows what he is doing. Fury. Mihai Yagi is a smart man and knows exactly how to hide from us. Black Widow. I worked with Mihai on several missions. He is extremely calculating and plans everything to the smallest detail exact. Hawkeye. I never thought that of all people he would become like that. I mean, I saw him as a friend, a good one at that. Ojiro. Dad. Hawkeye. Just why he? Hawkeye looked at Fury and Fury said. Fury. A wise man once said to me, that all it takes to drive a man insane is one bad day. General. Okay, listen up folks. We got a call today, that tomorrow there might be something bad happening. The general walked up and down the line of soldiers who stood in line. General. I want that every soldier, tank, helicopter and plane in this base is fully armed and ready for combat by 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. Everybody understood? Soldiers. Yes, yes sir. General. Good, because if not then Tokyo might turn into pile of ash. Now move. The soldiers of the JSDF hurried away to make ready for battle. Firefighter Commander. Okay everyone. I want all of you to make sure that all of our equipment is at top condition and that we are able to roll out faster than Quicksilver can run. Everybody understand? Firefighters. Yes. Leaning against a wall we can see the firefighter hero Backdraft leaning against the wall. Backdraft. May God be with us. M's supervisor. Everyone listen up. I want every one of you to put on your vests and helmets for tomorrow. Make sure that every ambulance car has more than enough supplies, and if there is a shortage somewhere then report to me immediately. I will get more supplies from the hospital then. Everybody understand? M's. Yes, M's supervisor. Okay then everybody go to work, we only have 10 hours left. Chief Saragame was walking down the corridor of the police station, several police officers following him. Saragame. Every police officer has to wear his riot gear, helmet, bulletproof vest, everything. Every gun has to be cleaned and loaded and all of them have permission to use their quirks if needed. It may not help much but get the water throwers and barricades ready as well. Police officer. Should we get the shields too? Saragame. Do you really think shields will help us in a situation like that? Police officer. No sir. Saragame. Then shut up and go to work. I want everything ready in 6 hours. Mechanist. Is everything ready? Medic bot. Yes master, we have enough energy and a clear signal from the work bots for the transfer. Mechanist. When is it done? Medic bot. If everything goes as planned then the mind transfer should be over in 11 hours. Mechanist. Good, then let's start. The Mechanist took of his clothes and laid down in the open capsule, then the capsule closed. Mechanist. Time to leave this weak meat body behind. He closed his eyes, and with that the countdown to the last showdown begins and 3 frontiers are ready for battle. No one Pav. Team 1. All Might, Endeavor, Hawks, Best Jeanist and the rest of the top 20 of Japan will take on this old ammunition factory. According to the files of that building, it was used to build ammunition for tanks and ships. You will be aided by the SFGP in a company of Rangers for this mission. Team 2. Captain America, Iron Man, Thor, Sentry, Songbird, Hawkeye, Winter Soldier, Black Widow, Moon Knight and the next-gen Avengers will take on this old barracks here. According to the file then, this barracks were built for the 5th Tank Division and 4th and 5th Infantry Regiment of the 6th Division of the JSDF. That is quite a big area to cover, so you will be aided by the 10th Infantry Regiment. There will be also backup in form of Hulk, Ant-Man and Namor if needed. Team 3. Silver Shroud and the Unstoppables and their new recruit Byako will take this tank factory here. According to the files then, it was used to build the Type 10, Type 90 and Type 90B tank for the JSD forces. You will also be aided by the 9th Infantry Regiment. Nezu put down the papers in his hand and faced the people in front of him. All Might. Why is the military there? Fury. The threat that the Mechanist poses to Japan is greater than anything Japan has ever seen. All Might. How? We can defeat those metal cans easily. Our quirks, especially Endeavors, should make short process with them. Silver Shroud. Oh really? Those metal cans nearly wiped out the Metal Liberation Army, and that with only one robot. Not only that, but you guys already struggled with the smaller ones, so how do you deal with the big ones? Captain America. The robots of the Mechanist are probably stronger than most tanks in this world. I know you and Endeavor are able to destroy tanks, but they are also able to kill you too. Endeavor. And how is that? I just burned them until their ammunition. Black Widow. Can you survive a tank shell to the face? Endeavor. Black Widow. Thought so. Fury. Keep those discussions for later, you have a job to do now, go. General. Has the 3rd Tank Division arrived yet? Major. No sir, they will be here in half an hour. General. What is with our artillery? Major 2. We have 6 howitzer cannons, 16 81mm mortars and 4 90mm POC cannons. All in position and ready to shoot. General. Our infantry. Major 3. The 9th and 10th Infantry Regiment of the 8th Division are aiding the Avengers and the Unstoppables, while a company of Rangers and a group of the SFGP aid the top 20 of Japan. While the 6th, 7th and 8th Infantry Regiment of the 8th Division are stationed in defensive positions around Tokyo, we also have the 5th and 4th Regiment in the city helping in case we need to evacuate. General. What is with our Air Force and Navy? Major 4. We have 3 Tawada-class provisioners ships to aid in the evacuation of the city. We also have 2 Maya-class guided missile destroyer and 1 Izumo-class helicopter carrier. On the carrier are 7 SH-60KU fighter helicopters and 2 CH-101 multirole helicopters. Major. And we have 14 Stavel variant F-35B fighter jets on standby. General. Good, now go back to work and report back to me when the 3rd Tank Division arrives. All Majors. Yes sir. Suragame. Is everyone ready? Tsukauchi. Yes, the EMS and firefighters are all ready. The people in the hospitals have already been moved to the port where they will be evacuated if needed. EMS Supervisor. The entirety of Tokyo's EMS is here, plus some doctors and other hospital personnel to help out. Firefighter Commander. We put the entirety of Tokyo's firefighters on alarm. All vehicles are loaded and are positioned in all of the main streets of the city. Suragame. What is with the heroes? Tsukauchi. The heroes of Tokyo either joined the military on the outskirts of the city or are helping the EMS. Firefighters are military inside the city. Suragame. Well, that is all we can do at the moment. The rest is up to the success of the raids and if we end up with a destroyed Tokyo or not. Raid Team 1. We can see 6 military trucks driving out of Tokyo and towards the northeast of the city. The top 20 were in the first truck, followed by 5 others that were filled with soldiers. Ranger Soldier. Do we have an anti-material rifle? Ranger Soldier 2. I think one of the SFGP guys has one. Ranger Soldier. Only one. We are fighting against armored enemies. Ranger Soldier 2. Hey, don't look at me like that, I am only the radio guy. Ranger Soldier. And I am the guy with the LMG. How are we supposed to do anything against armored enemies if we only have grenades? I don't think those guys will wait 10 seconds until it blows up. Ranger Commander. Oh, stop your whining, man, and act like a soldier. Ranger Soldier. But sir. Ranger Commander. We will have to count on the heroes with their powers, sadly. Believe me, I don't like it either. Ranger Soldier. Fucking hell. Ranger Commander. Hey, what is your name and quirk, soldier? Ranger Soldier. The name is Mori Nobuhide, my quirk is Optical View Changer. Ranger Commander. What does it do? Mori. I can change my view to see sound waves, heat signatures, radio waves, X-ray and so on. Ranger Commander. Interesting quirk. Listen up, guys. The commander screamed to the rest of the soldiers in his truck. Ranger Commander. I don't like this situation, and so do many of you, but we have to do our duty. Your training and quirk training prepared you all for this, so show no fear and make me proud today. Ranger Soldiers. Yes, sir. The commander sat down again besides Mori and then turned to him and said, Ranger Commander. Your quirk will save many lives today. Raid Team 2. We can see 40 trucks and 10 light armored vehicles driving out of Tokyo and towards the north, while 4 heroes flew over them while the rest of the Avengers sat in the truck at the front of the convoy. Hawkeye. Isn't it a little overkill to send an entire regiment with us? Winter Soldier. Considering how dangerous that guy is and that he probably has an army of robots, no. Captain America. This must be the biggest military operation for Japan since WW2. Black Widow. Those are 2 regiments, means 6,000 men are with us, while 1 regiment is with the Unstoppables, which means they have 3,000 men, while the top 20 have 1 ranger company and a platoon of SFGP, so they have around 290 men with them. Ojiro. So that means that 9,290 men are involved in the raids alone. Momo. Yes, if we then count the defending troops in Tokyo, then we have 328 tanks, around 2,000 battle vehicles and 24,290 soldiers with air and sea support, probably more. Itsuka. That is just crazy. Kyoka. They take the threat of the Mechanist very serious, which is no surprise considering that it only took 1 of his robots to nearly wipe out a small town. Hawkeye. Then let's hope that we get Mihai by surprise. Moon Knight. That is easier said than done. Raid Team 3. We can see 40 trucks and 10 light armored vehicles driving out of Tokyo and towards the northwest. But 1 truck at the front stood out from the other ones. Ghost Rider. You know, it's hard to believe that you built those things on your own. Silver Shroud. It isn't that hard when you know what you are doing. Toga. Wait a second, who was driving when you were back here with us? Silver Shroud. Autopilot. Toga. Oh, Byako. Anyways, what is the plan? Deadpool. Damn kid, directly cutting to the case, don't you? Well, at least you aren't as stupid as your canon self. Byako. Canon what? Man to man. Just ignore it. Anyways, let's get to the plan. Punisher. Well, first we will split the soldiers up on half. We'll take the east side of the camp while another one takes the west side. Lady Nagant. We also will split up. Byako, Inspector, Technoblade and Toga will go to the east side. Silver Shroud, Punisher, Ghost Rider, Deadpool and Man-to-Man will go to the west side. Toga. Why are all the heavy hitters on their team? Deadpool. You have Technoblade, I just think it's fair. Silver Shroud. If one of us finds the fabrication place of the robots and the Mechanist, immediately call in over radio, don't go in alone. Understood. Everyone. Understood, yes sir. In the HQ of the Mechanist. Computer. 95% complete. EDE. Boop. Compute. 1 hour left until completed. EDE. Bop beep. We can see 1,000 of robots of different sizes and forms, standing in blocks, their eyes blinking red as they wait for their master to rise. The light armored Assaultron and heavy armored Sentry bots are the front fighters of the robot army. The Assaultron fill up the role of the soldiers while the Sentry bots take the place of the artillery and tanks. The Protectron and Mr. Gutsy robots build the rear guard of the robot army. They fill up the roles of occupy and control units. There are also around 10 runner robots standing amongst the other robots waiting with the other robots. They are the shadows of the Mechanist. Computer. 96% completed. Just then the alarms went off. The 10 runner robots looked at each other before leaving the room, ready to kill anything and everything that dares disturb the rise of their master. Raid Team 1. As this was happening, Raid Team 1 arrived at their destination. The soldiers immediately went to work and started to look through the industry complex. The heroes on the other hand don't seem to be concerned at all as they left their truck, except a few chosen ones. Hawks. Hey Edgeshot, what are you doing? Edgeshot. My job. We have to find the mechanist before he can finish his plan. Hawks. Oh come on, take it easy, for what do we have all those soldiers here? Best Jeanist. I will be going with you, Edgeshot. With that, Edgeshot and Best Jeanist walked towards a factory hall where they saw a group of soldiers walk towards earlier. In the building we can see a group of 5 soldiers walking around. Ranger Soldier. Hey Mori, do you see something? Mori activated his quirk and switched to X-ray vision. Mori. No, this building is empty. Mori then looked down to the ground, his quirk still activated. Mori. Beneath us is nothing as well. Ranger Soldier 2. Then let's move on. Mori deactivated his X-ray vision and switched to heat vision before moving forward, his gun held in front of him. Ranger Lieutenant over radio. Building 1 clear. Ranger Lieutenant 2 over radio. Building 2 clear. SFGP Lieutenant over radio. Building 3 clear. Ranger Commander over radio. Any basements? Ranger Lieutenant over radio. Nothing here. Ranger Lieutenant 2 over radio. Nothing here as well. Mori. Nothing here as well. Ranger Commander. Group 4 report. SFGP Lieutenant. Ranger Commander. Group 4 report. Shots were heard and everyone, heroes and soldiers combined, started running towards the position the shots came from. SFGP Lieutenant over radio. Found a basement. Are under attack, need IM. Ranger Commander. Group 4 report. How is your status? No answer came. Ranger Commander over radio. All units move immediately to Building 3 now. The soldiers ran into the building where the shots were heard earlier, but now it was silent. Some soldiers quickly took cover and covered their comrades that were advancing into the building. The heroes on the other side just walked in without any concern at all. Well, besides Edgeshot and Best Jeanist, those two decided to stick with the slow advancing tactic of the soldiers. Mori. I don't like this. Edgeshot. Tell me about it. Mori turned on his X-ray vision and looked around. He saw something approaching Mirko. He lifted his rifle as fast as he could and opened fire. 2 shots were heard and then a silent thump. Everyone was silent. Everyone looked at Mori and then to Mirko. Mirko's eyes were wide in shock. She looked towards her right and saw a man in a thick brown leather trenchcoat. Mirko. What the? Mori. Down. Mirko jumped to the ground as Mori emptied his magazine. Every other soldier took cover and formed a firing line, but they didn't shoot because they couldn't see their enemy. Endeavor threw a flaming punch, burning and blowing up the entire side where Mori was shooting. Endeavor. Where those all? Gang Orca walked up to Mirko and helped her back on her feet as a shot was heard, and in the next second Gang Orca fell to the ground, a bullet hole in his head. Ranger Soldier. Sniper. Everyone jumped into cover, even the heroes. Mori slowly peeked out of his cover, his X-ray vision still activated. He saw the sniper hiding behind a machine and gestured for Endeavor where the sniper was. Endeavor just nodded and ran out of his cover and then sent a giant fire wave towards the machine, causing it to explode. Mori then looked towards the machine to see if the sniper was still there. Mori. Sniper is gone. Ranger Commander. Do you see any more? Mori just looked around the building and behind him and nodded. Mori. At least 5. Endeavor. What are those things? They look like humans, and why couldn't we see them but you did? Mori. Those are just very well made robots. With my X-ray vision I was able to see their mechanical skeleton. Ranger Soldier. They probably have some kind of technology that turns them invisible. Ranger Commander. Anyways, I am gonna call in the other teams telling them that we found the enemy base. The commander pulled out his radio and was about to call the other teams as shots were fired at them again, this time at least from 5 different directions. Mori saw how 5 of his comrades fell to the ground dead while the others tried to shoot back. Then All Might and Endeavor ran past the soldiers and launched their strongest attacks at the building. All Might. Detroit Smash. Endeavor. Flashfire Fist. The building was blown away as a flaming tornado destroyed everything in its path. All Might laughed proudly of himself while Endeavor just glared at the direction where their attack went. Ranger Commander. Mori, do you see anything left? Mori looked around to see if he could see any of the robots left. Mori. No sir. Mori turned around only to dodge a punch of the robots. Mori. One is here. All soldiers aimed towards the point where Mori was aiming while all the heroes went into a fighting stance. Mirko. It is over, give up Villian. Mori kept his gun aimed at the robot. The robot on the other hand just stood there motionless as he reached for his head. The robot touched something on his eye and it started blinking red very fast. Mori's eyes widened and he screamed. Mori. Cover. The soldiers jumped behind cover. While Mirko jumped forward, she wanted to take down the villain that killed her friend even so she couldn't see it. Mori, seeing this, jumped out of his cover and pushed Mirko aside, and then, boom. A large dust cloud filled the air and many only could hear the beeping in their ears. It stopped and the first thing they heard was someone screaming. Ranger Soldier. Medic. We need a medic. The dust settled and they saw Mori on the ground. The left side of his body was badly mutilated with his left limbs missing. The medic of the group ran over to the badly injured soldier. He kneeled down and tried his best to somehow stop all of the bleedings. Ranger Medic. Come on man. You can't die on me. The medic used his weak healing quirk but it did nearly nothing. It only healed the smaller cuts while the others were still open. Mori puked up blood as tears came out of his eyes. Mori. I.D. Don't W. He would never finish this sentence as he took his last breath. His eyes became glassy and he breathed out as his heart stopped to beat in his chest. The Ranger Commander looked at his dead soldier and then he saw Mirko still on the ground slowly getting up as she looked at the dead soldier in shock. At that moment anger caught up to the commander as he stormed over to Mirko. He grabbed her ears and pulled her up. Ranger Commander. Are you happy now? You fucking bitch. He punched her in the guts but didn't let go of her ears. Ranger Commander. What the hell do you think cover means, huh? Charging at the enemy like a freaking idiot. He punched her again. Endeavor put a hand on his shoulder but was only met with a pistol pointed at his head. Endeavor. What the hell do you think you are doing? Ranger Commander. Keeping civilians at bay. The commander let go of Mirko as he threw her to the ground. He put his pistol back in its holster and walked towards his soldiers. He looked down on the dead body of Mori and then looked towards his soldier. Ranger Commander. Keep moving, we have to find the entrance to that fucking basement. Now. The soldiers went to work splitting up in 5-man teams as they looked through the ruins and debris of the building. Ranger Commander. I will call the other teams. We need some real heroes here as fast as we can. The commander was about to walk away as All Might said. All Might. We are heroes. The commander turned towards the heroes with a confused expression. Ranger Commander. Really? Because the only thing I see right now is a bunch of fucking idiots in fancy costumes. The commander turned around again as Endeavor asked. Endeavor. Who do you think you are? Ranger Commander. The name is Richard Sharp, former SAS soldier and now a commander for the Japanese Rangers. Now fuck off. I at least try to do my job. With that, Sharp took his radio and said into it. Sharp. We found the base of the Mechanist. I repeat, we found the base of the Mechanist. Raid Team 2. Captain America was on the radio as he heard the message. Captain America. Everyone back on the trucks. Raid Team 1 found the base. Raid Team 3. Silver Shroud. Everyone back on the trucks. Raid Team 1 found the base. Technoblade. Oh. How disappointing. I hoped that I got my hands first on this robot army. No one POV. Computer. 99% completed, 1% left. Sharp. Push them back, we need to get to that computer. Sharp screamed as his soldiers did everything they could to get through the defensive line of robots. Endeavor was throwing flames and All Might was throwing punches as much and strong as they could to get through, but to no avail. Even so, the Mr. Gutsy robots weren't the strongest ones, but their programming didn't allow them to back down. So the robots threw themselves wave after wave at their enemy, and even so the losses on their side were great, the losses on the side of their enemy weren't small. Ranger Soldier. We need a medic. Ranger Soldier 2. AAAAAAAHH. All Might clapped his hands together and a shockwave threw away the robots in front of him, giving him enough time to storm forward. He ran towards the computer and punched away robot after robot that tried to get in his way. That was until a sentry bot got in his way. The sentry bot clashed with All Might and was pushed back slightly. The sentry bot then began to push back, surprising the number one hero with its strength. The sentry bot then lifted his free arm that had a giant axe head attached to it. The bot was about to cut down on the hero as an explosion went off right in his face. The head of the bot was blown off and it fell to the ground destroyed. All Might looked behind him to see Sharp aiming a cannon at where the robot stood. Another robot charged at Sharp and he transformed the cannon back into an arm before shooting at the robot with his rifle. "Sharp! Move, you bloody wanker!" he screamed at All Might as he fought of the other robots. All Might continued his charge, running, punch and repeat until he was only a few meters away from the computer. All Might. Detroit. All Might pulled his arm back. His plan is to punch through the robots and destroy the computer in the process. All Might. Smash. The robots that were standing in front of the computer were sent flying backwards besides one big sentry bot. He stood his ground, not moving an inch even as other robots flew straight into him. The sentry bot just took everything head on and then it happened that caused everyone to stop fighting, even the robots. Computer. 100% transition complete. Then a sound similar to that of a train horn was heard as the ground underneath the heroes began to shake. Everyone looked towards the giant robot that was standing in the middle of the room and then the eye slit of the robot began to glow red. Liberty Prime, online. The robot began to move his hands and then took a step forward, breaking the scaffolding that was surrounding him. He then turned his head right to look at the heroes and soldiers staring at him, fear clearly visible on their faces. The now robotic mechanist turned his entire massive body towards the intruders as he saw his former brother staring at him with fear and complete disbelief on his face. Mechanist Liberty Prime. Hello brother, look at how useless you are. Iron Man Pav. Me, May, Sentry and Thor flew through the air as fast as we could towards the position of Raid Team 1. We sped up to Mach 2 and saw the factory coming into view, but just as we were about to land we saw soldiers and some of the heroes running out of the building. We landed in front of them but they just ran past us besides one man, rough-looking man with blonde hair and a 3-day beard. He stopped in front of us panting gun in hand. That was the famous SAS Commander Sharp, if I remember correctly. Sharp. We were too late. The mechanist activated his robot. Iron Man. Where's All Might and Endeavor? Sharp. They covered our retreat and held off the robots. Don't know if they are still alive. They already killed the platoon of SFGP soldiers, 3 heroes and around 20 of my man. Thor. Then let's go down there and help them in the fight. Sentry. Yeah. Thor and Sentry rushed past Sharp towards the building, but just as they were about to enter, the already pretty destroyed building blew up. Soldiers and heroes threw themselves on the ground, covering their head with their hands as debris and other things flew over their heads. Thor and Sentry withstood the explosion but were pushed back a few feet by the force of the explosion. Me, May and Sharp weren't that strong sadly and were thrown to the ground pretty roughly. There was a lot of smoke and we could hear quite a lot of screaming from some of those who got injured by the explosion. I got up and helped Sharp to his feet. As I looked towards Thor and Sentry I saw them looking at something smoking right in front of them. I walked over to them and looked at the ground in front of me. May was behind me and I could hear her helmet opening as she pucked. Sharp. Well, now we know what happened to Endeavor, or at least to one half of him. Right before our feet laid the corpse of Endeavor. He was ripped apart, his remaining organs slowly sliding out of his upper body. His face showed extreme pain. His mouth wide open, blood and puke covering his mouth down to his chest, his eyes nearly coming out of his skull. That's how wide open they were. The Hellfire hero, Endeavor the number 2 of Japan, was no more. Thor. Who? Thor was interrupted by as a metal hand came out of the ground before slamming into the ground before them, turning the remaining corpse of Endeavor into a bloody puddle. The ground beneath the hand cracked as another hand came out of the hole, slamming into the other side of the hole. Something came out slowly. At first you could see the elbows and then a massive body. We all took a step back as a massive body started to rise out from the hole. The robot managed to hoist itself out of the hole and now stood 13-meter tall in front of us, looking down on us. Mechanist Liberty Prime. Well, who do we have here? The Avengers. No one, Pav. With the Unstoppables. Punisher. Doesn't that thing goes any faster? Silver Shroud. We already drive around 150 kilometers per hour. I can't go any faster here. Punisher just nodded and just sat back in his seat besides Technoblade, who was reading The Art of War by Sun Tzu. Deadpool for once was silent, what was unusual. Man-to-Man was also silent and just leaned on his trident while they drove. The inspector, Toga and Byako looked like they were about to puke, probably because they weren't used to this kind of speed. Silver Shroud just kept his eyes on the road, dodging cars in his way. Deadpool. Wait a second. Where is Nagant? Punisher. She drove ahead with Ghost Rider. Deadpool. Wait, he let her drive with him. Punisher. Well, he finds her less annoying than you. Deadpool. Now that hurt. Punisher was about to say something as they heard an explosion in the distance. Silver Shroud. It started. Technoblade. Well, speed up. Let's see what that guy has to offer. Silver Shroud kept the speed up, but then after 5 minutes he made a sharp turn away from the explosion and towards Tokyo. Man-to-Man. Wait, where are you going? Silver Shroud. They are moving towards Tokyo. Someone call Nagant and tell her that they should move towards Tokyo. Punisher. On it. Punisher got on his radio. Punisher. Punisher, here the target is moving towards Tokyo. I repeat, the target is moving towards Tokyo. Lady Nagant over radio. We see the target. Sentry. Thor and Iron Man are attacking him, but it seems it doesn't face him too much. Punisher. Are there more threats? Lady Nagant. Besides an army of robots, no. Punisher looked towards Silver Shroud, who was still driving full speed. Silver Shroud. Tell her to try to slow him down. I have a plan. Tell her that we will be near Tokyo. Punisher nodded. Punisher. Okay, try to slow him down. We need to set something up. Lady Nagant. Understood. Punisher ended the radio call and looked towards Silver Shroud. Silver Shroud. Press the button, please. Punisher pushed a button that was beside him, and out of the ground came a container. The cover of the container opened, showing many different weapons. Silver Shroud. Magazines should be in there too. Toga. Sweet. Toga took out a bullpup rifle with 3 magazines and 2 combat knives. Toga. Only 3 magazines for that thing. Silver Shroud. You won't need more, believe me. Toga. If you say so. Deadpool. I will go with that sweet little grenade launcher. I will not betray my beautiful desert eagles and katanas. The inspector took 3 grenades while Man-to-Man and Technoblade took nothing. Punisher took a shotgun and 45 Magnum. Silver Shroud. Byako, you take the Fat Man. Byako. Fat Man. Byako looked into the container and saw the rocket launch-like contraption with 3 small-looking A-bombs. At first he wanted to say no, but for some reason he then took it after all because he wanted to see what it does. Silver Shroud. Everyone has their weapons. Everyone. Yes. Silver Shroud. Good, we will be at our destination in around 5 minutes. With Iron Man. We can see Iron Man and Iron Maiden in their Mark 21 suit trying to stop the advancing robot army. The problem with that is that the Mark 21 is specialized for supersonic flight, which gives them a big advantage in speed over the robots, but also the disadvantage of less firepower. Sentry and Thor on the other side fought against an entire division of robots. The robots were mostly no problem for their powers, but the fact that the Mr. Gutsy started repairing robots that weren't too hard damaged and sending them back to the fight was a big problem. May looked down on the battlefield and saw the retreating soldiers and heroes. Some stood behind fighting back, to slow the robots down before following the retreat as they got cover fire. But it was to no avail. May saw how a sentry bot crushed the head of Crust before throwing the dead body away. May. Shit, Dad, Tony. What, May? We need to get stronger suits. I will get my Mark 24. Tony. Okay, I will stay here until you come back. May. Understood. May flew off as fast as she could so that she could change her suit. Tony. She really likes her Mark 24. Tony saw his daughter flew off before dodging a laser beam. The beam came from the eye slit of the Mechanist. Mechanist. What, are you already out of fuel? Tony. Oh no, I have enough to beat your ass. Tony flew towards the Mechanist full speed, actually breaking the sound barrier. If the Mechanist could, he would have giggled as he thought that Iron Man was so stupid to ram him, but in reality he flew behind him and shot a beam at the back of his head. Sadly, it did no damage at all. Mechanist. Okay, I must confess I thought you were about to ram me. The Mechanist just continued to walk towards Tokyo, ignoring the armored Avenger that shot beams at him completely. Mechanist. I thought you wanted to kick my ass. Tony mined. God damn it, I need the Mark 85 or Mark 50. Tony dodged another laser beam of the Mechanist and just continued to fly around him. He could do nothing until he heard a loud roaring or something. He looked towards the direction where the sound came from and saw a burning motorcycle. It was Ghost Rider swinging his chain, melting every robot that dared coming too close to him. He drove towards the legs of the Mechanist. As he was close enough, he swung his chain around the massive leg of the Mechanist and started to heat it up. The metal of the leg started to bend under the heat of the chain. The Mechanist moved his leg in a way to get rid of the chain. Instead of getting rid of it, Ghost Rider was lifted out of his motorcycle. As he held onto his chain, he was thrown around like a ragdoll, but he wouldn't let go of the chain. The Mechanist grew frustrated at that. Not only was Iron Man still flying around him, but now he had a flaming skeleton swinging around his leg. The frustration soon became panic as he realized that the chain of Ghost Rider started to melt his vibranium skin around his leg. But he was saved as one of his sentry bots shot a grenade at the Ghost Rider, causing him to let go of the chain. Now Ghost Rider had to face 3 sentry bots, while the Mechanist continued his march towards Tokyo. Sharp, seeing this, cursed under his breath as took cover behind a tree. He took one big breath before he grabbed his radio. Sharp. Major Sharp to General Murabashi. Major Sharp to General Murabashi. General Murabashi. Murabashi here. Sharp. The Mechanist and an army of robots moves towards Tokyo. We can't stop them. We are 3 kilometers away from Tokyo. General Murabashi. Understood. Sharp ended the radio conversation before activating his quirk. He came out of his cover and shot at a sentry bot. He hit the head of the sentry bot and blew it right off. It was about to fall over as it all of a sudden exploded, destroying 2 Assaultrons and 1 Protectron that were nearby. Sharp. Those things are fucking bombs now. In Tokyo. The people of Tokyo just went after their day, not even suspecting the great danger that was coming towards them, until the air raid siren went off. The civilians were confused because the air raid siren only went off on Sundays at lunchtime. Today wasn't Sunday or lunch for that matter. Some people connected the dots and started to panic, while others were still confused until. Speaker. To all citizens of Tokyo, this isn't a drill. I repeat, this isn't a drill. Now everyone began to panic. Screams could be heard as the people pushed each other to get off the street. Speaker. To all citizens of Tokyo, please remain calm and go to the port. There will be ships that will evacuate you. I repeat, please remain calm and go to the port. There will be ships to evacuate you. For the citizens that live in the south parts of Japan, please leave the city in a calm manner. The heroes on the streets, together with the soldiers present, tried to calm the people down as they showed the way towards the ships. At the outskirts of Tokyo. Commander. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it's about to get serious. The enemy is only 2 km away from our position. So the time to chill is over. Get in your positions and make yourselves battle ready. Soldiers. Yes, sir. The soldiers ran around getting into their positions. The soldiers did their best to build up their defensive positions. The entire city was surrounded by a wall of cement tank barriers, a wall of sandbags, and the soldiers also already started to dig trenches in some parts. The artillery was placed at strategic good places where they could freely shoot at the enemy without fearing of hitting civilian buildings or military positions. They also placed explosions on some of the major bridges in case they need to blow them up. The tank division just arrived around 5 minutes ago and was placed in the south of the city, ready to roll out towards the position of where the enemy would come. While on the roofs of the higher buildings and in some of the houses were snipers with their anti-material rifles. General over radio. To all units, the enemy is coming from the northeast. I repeat, the enemy is coming from the northeast. All available units that aren't helping with the evacuation of the civilians, please go to the northeast position. With the 3rd Tank Division. Tank Commander. You heard him, guys. Let's roll out. The ground was shaking as 328 tanks and 500 battle vehicles started to roll towards the northeast of the city at full speed. Tank Commander. Bonsai motherfucker. Mortar Team 6. Mortar Soldier 1. I got the tube. Mortar Soldier 2. I got the ammo box, come on let's go. In Tokyo, soldiers and heroes were seen guiding the people towards the port, while on the port people pushed each other around in an attempt to get on one of the ships. Soldier. Women and children first. Heroes. Please remain calm and follow the instructions. But there was pretty big problem on the 3 ships that were sent to help with the evacuation. Ship 1. Sailor. Captain, we have reached our limit. Captain. How many are on the ship? Sailor. We have 4,000 civilians on board. Sir, some of the crew members even left to make more place for civilians. Captain. Well then there is nothing more we can do. Tell the soldiers on the port we are full and that we can't take any more. Sailor. Will do, sir. The sailor walked towards the radio and told the soldiers and auth military down at the port that the ship was full. The captain just sighed. 4,000 and there are still millions that need to be evacuated. In the port, the soldiers that were standing in the port guiding the people into lines so they could go to the ships received the message that the ships were full and that they couldn't take any more. Even so, they didn't want it to the soldiers stop the people that tried to get on the ships. What caused chaos and some fights with people screaming at soldiers telling them to let them through. They didn't let them through and the situation only got worse as the people tried to force their way towards the ships. The soldiers pushed the civilians back, some even pointing their rifles at them. The civilians stepped back, not wanting to be shot at by their own soldiers. The 3 ships pulled out of the port and started to move towards Shimoda. It would take the ships at least 2 hours there and back. Civilian woman. We are gonna die. Civilian child. Mommy, where are they going? People started to panic, but that soon faded as they saw several smaller ships coming from the horizon. Civilian man. Who are those guys? The ships came closer and many people started to cheer as they saw at least 300 vessels. Some were tourist boats, others were smaller or bigger yachts. Then there were some fisher boats and they all drove towards the port. Civilian teenager. I get Dunkirk vibes. On the front line. It was silent, only the faint sound of shooting and explosions could be heard as the soldiers waited in their positions, their weapons aimed towards the direction from where the enemy will come. Then an explosion went off at the border of the forest and soon the first retreating soldiers and heroes of Raid Team 1 appeared, followed by an army of robots. They ran towards the positions of their fellow soldiers as they were bombarded with grenades and missiles that came from the robots. Commander. Give them cover fire. The mortars fired and whistling was heard as the shells flew through the air before hitting the advancing robots. Cheers came from the Japanese soldiers, but their small triumph was quickly over as the robots began to shoot back towards their positions. The retreating soldiers made it to the defensive positions and were helped by their fellow soldiers to get over the barriers while others opened fire at the approaching enemy. Ranger soldier. They. Medic. It's okay, you are safe now. Just take some deep breaths. Yeah, just like that. Are you wounded? Ranger soldier. No, soldier. Medic. We need a medic here. The Japan's artillery fired everything they got at the robots, taking out dozens over dozens. The snipers with their anti-material rifles took aim and started to shoot at the big sentry bots. Some of them were taken down by one shot to the head, but that just caused them to explode, while auth sentry bots took shot after shot before finally going down and explode. Sniper. Those things are fucking kamikaze bombers. Then around 50 Mr. Gutsies came shooting out of the line of robots flying towards the Japanese positions full speed. The soldiers threw grenades at them and trying to shoot them down the best they could, but it wasn't enough. At least 13 of the Mr. Gutsies made it to the lines. The soldiers couldn't react fast enough as the robots started to glow red, and then in 13 explosions, each one stronger than 10 grenades, they blew up. The explosions ripped big holes in the defenses and killed all soldiers that were in a 6-meter radius around them. Other soldiers immediately ran towards the blown-up positions before the enemy could claim them. But it was too late as dozens of Assaultron robots came through the holes in the defense. The soldiers were surprised at the speed of the Assaultrons and a brutal meal fight began. The Assaultron with their installed blades tried to cut down the surprised soldiers as they tried to defend themselves with their rifles. Some soldiers managed to fix their bayonets and started to fight back, while others activated their quirks. One soldier transforms his right hand into a sledgehammer and smash it into the head of an Assaultron, destroying it. while he used his left hand to shoot at another Assaultron that tried to attack him. Sharp helped to fight back the robots with everything he had. He was injured and tired and he overused his quirk greatly, but still he fought on. He used his cannon arm to blow of the head of a sentry bot before he used it to smack a Assaultron in the head. The robots just continued to come in slowly but surely they gained more and more ground. The situation only got worse as the heavy armored sentry bots came. But then a loud bang was heard as a black-colored armored vehicle drove through the lines of attacking robots. A sentry bot tried to stop it shooting grenades at it, but the vehicle barely took any damage from that. The vehicle was faster than anything else on the battlefield, moving at a speed where even a tank would be pushed aside. Not only was the vehicle extremely fast, probably moving at a speed of 300 hectometers per hour, many soldiers guessed, but it also had a small cannon on top of it with what it shot at the robots as well. On the hill overlooking the battlefield, Toga. Damn, I didn't thought that thing had that much power. Byako. How fast is that thing? Silver Shroud. Right now it's moving 303 kilometers per hour. Toga and Byako. What? How? Silver Shroud. That thing is equipped with 3 jet engines. Also, don't you have a job to do? Byako and Toga. Oh right. Byako and Toga ran off towards their positions where they would wait until they get the signal to attack, while Silver Shroud stood back steering his self-made armored truck via remote control. He hoped that he could slow the robots down enough so that the soldiers had a chance to retake the positions. On the battlefield, Sharp, seeing the robots' attacks getting weaker, gained new hope and screamed out. Sharp! Come on lads! They are getting weaker. Sharp blocked the blade of a Assaultron before using his cannon to shoot its head off, but then another Assaultron jumped him and threw him to the ground. Sharp saw the robot lifting his blade arm, but he was saved as the robot was hit with a wave of bullets, destroying it. Sharp rolled out of the way of the falling robot before it could land on him. Sharp looked towards the direction from where the shots came from and smiled as his around 500 soldiers came running from Tokyo, and Sharp could hear the famous Japanese battle cry clear and loud. Japanese soldiers. Tenno Heika Banzai. The robots that were programmed to fight and kill were for once taken by surprise as the brave Japanese soldiers charged with mounted bayonet and activated quirks at the robots. Sharp stood up and continued the fight as now the robots were pushed back. Soon the robots were pushed back all the way to destroyed defenses. Sharp for the first time this day smiled as he saw how the robots stood no chance against the fierce soldiers. But that smile died down fast as the earth began to rumble beneath his feet. At this point they had managed to push the robots all the way back to the destroyed tank barriers as the 13 meters tall robot that was the Mechanist appeared coming out from the woods, followed by his strongest robots. One of those robots was a sentry bot with 4 legs instead of the 4 roller skate-like legs. He was armed with 2 grenade launchers and on his back was a big tube-like thing. Sharp could tell by how bulky that thing looked that it could take quite some hits. Not only did they have to take down a 13 meters tall nearly indestructible robot, no, there also were other robots that were probably strong enough to turn a tank into a pile of ashes. The Mechanist looked at the armored truck of the Silver Shroud before his eyes lit up and a laser beam came out, hitting the truck. The truck was destroyed, but not just destroyed, it went off like a howitzer and destroyed all the robots that were in a 40 meters radius. Talking about artillery, the Japanese artillery has been bombarding the robot army no pause, and the army of the Mechanist took big losses because of it. The Mechanist lifted his right arm so that his brother could see the battlefield before him. All Might was in his skinny form, held tight by his brother in his hand. Mechanist. Look at this, brother. One half of my army fights those annoying Avengers and Unstoppables while my other half gets destroyed by the military. Isn't it a shame? I thought I builded them better. All Might. Why? UW. Will not get through with this. Mechanist. Oh brother, that was never the plan from the beginning. Hey Bulky. The sentry bot with the tube on the back turned to his creator. Mechanist. Would you be so kind and get rid of the artillery? Bulky. For the Mechanist. The sentry bot turned towards the nearest artillery position that it could see and started to walk towards it. As it was in reach, the sentry bot stopped. Out of its legs came what looked like extra legs as it sat down on the ground, becoming a stationary weapon. The bot bent slightly over, aiming the tube on his back at the position of the mortar. Then a stream of flames came out of the back of the tube before a rocket came shooting out, flying towards the mortar position. The soldiers that were firing the mortar saw the rocket flying towards them and scrambled away as fast as they could, letting their mortar behind. The rocket hit the mortar position and exploded. A 30 meters wide green shining ball appeared. One of the two soldiers that was firing the mortar wasn't fast enough to get out of the radius of the green ball. A small cry was heard before he was swallowed by the green shining ball. 5 seconds later the ball died down and all that was left of the soldier was a burning skeleton. The sentry bot then transformed back and started to walk towards the next artillery position. But just as the bot was about to move, it was hit by several grenades from the direction of the forest. The bot holded and shot back with its own grenades. After shooting 6 grenades, the bot stopped as it thought that it had hit its enemy, but as it turned it was hit by a volley of explosive bullets. The bullets did nearly no damage to the armor of the bot until one bullet hit the right-handed grenade launcher of the bot and the right arm exploded. The bot turned towards the forest again, shooting its left-handed grenade launcher, but he was only greeted by another volley of explosive bullets. This time the bot tried to protect its only remaining grenade launcher, but he wasn't fast enough and so his left-handed grenade launcher also got hit. The bot, now unarmed, tried to retreat towards its master, but was stopped by a barrage of grenades. The bot, having no other choice, turned stationary again in hopes he could shoot its rocket at the attacker. But said attacker ran out of the woods, revealing himself to be the Silver Shroud. Silver Shroud charged towards the robot, his Tommy gun on his back and a grenade launcher in his hand. As he was in reach, he kneeled down and shot his grenade launcher. The aim of the Silver Shroud was good and the grenade flew directly into the rocket tube and exploded. The explosion was massive, a 80-meter big green glowing explosion. Everything in a 80-meter radius was destroyed instantly, and even Silver Shroud was hit by the power of the explosion. Even so, he was outside the 80-meter radius. He still could feel the heat of the explosion and he covered his face with his hat. Silver Shroud reloaded his grenade launcher as he saw several assaultrons coming his way. He put his grenade launcher on his back before reaching for his Tommy gun. He loaded a drum magazine and cocked his rifle. He charged at the attacking assaultron while he was shooting. An assaultron was hit in the head several times before falling to the ground. As Silver Shroud was in hand-to-hand distance, he pulled out his new vibranium Bowie knife. He blocked the blade of one assaultron with his knife and used his Tommy gun to shoot the robot in its mechanical stomach. Next he dodged the attack of another assaultron and then shooting him in the back, destroying the second robot. Still 3 to go, Silver Shroud got ready for the fight. The Mechanist meanwhile continued his walk towards Tokyo, but then all of a sudden a crack appeared on his eye slit. Mechanist. Huh, those bastards shot my fucking eye. The Mechanist turned his gaze towards a 6-story building. He zoomed in on the roof and saw a sniper there aiming at him. The sniper shot again and hit his eye slit again, causing another crack. The Mechanist activated its laser beam. The beam hit the building at the 3rd floor, causing it to collapse and killing the sniper on top of it. Mechanist. I think I went a little bit overboard. Well. The Mechanist continued his walk, while every bullet, mortar or cannon shot that was shot at him bounced off or showed no effection at all. It was like someone throwing a cotton ball at a concrete wall. As the Mechanist reached the defensive line, he stomped on it and used his laser beam to cause explosions, killing many of the defending soldiers. Mechanist. Ha 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 ha, you thought those little concrete walls could stop me, ha ha ha. Maybe they couldn't, but we can. The Mechanist stopped laughing and looked towards the direction from where the voice came and saw 5 figures flying towards him. He had no chance to react before he was hit with 5 powerful attacks. He stumbled backwards before he regained his footing. He threw a punch in hope to hit one of the 5 flying Avengers. To his luck, he actually managed to hit Sentry and sended him flying into a small apartment building. After that, the Mechanist quickly activated his defense mechanism, and as Iron Man and Iron Maiden, now in her new suit, came flying towards him, 2 small rockets came out of his shoulder directly flying towards the 2 armored Avengers. Iron Maiden managed to dodge the small rocket, what then hit a building behind her. Her father wasn't that lucky and Iron Man got hit full force by the small rocket. Even so, his armor withstood the explosion. He still was thrown back towards the ground. Iron Maiden, Dad. Iron Man crashed into the ground, creating a crater. Iron Man over radio to May. I am okay. I will switch to my Mark 50 suit now. Try to keep him occupied in the meantime and watch out for that fucking APS rockets. May. Okay. May continued to fly around the Mechanist using her lasers to attack him, while the Mechanist was trying to defend himself from the attacks of Captain Marvel and Thor, causing the Mechanist to let go of All Might. May, seeing All Might in his skinny form falling towards the ground, reacted fast and flew down to catch him. She managed to grab him and flew off towards a direction where she knew that he would be safe. Sentry, on the other hand, just managed to crawl out of the collapsed building that he was punched into. He flew up before heading back to the fight. The Mechanist, seeing Sentry returning, activated his laser beam eyes ready to shoot at the Avenger while he blocked an attack from Thor and Captain Marvel. But as he was about to shoot his beam, something crashed into his knee from behind, causing him to go on one knee, missing Sentry and hitting another building instead. The building was instantly destroyed. The Mechanist was attacked from behind again, but this time he managed to withstood it and tried to get up. That was until the Hulk crashed into his chest. He was thrown backwards and landed on his back, crushing some of his own robots. As he laid there on the ground, he saw that it was Itsuka Danvers, the daughter of Captain Marvel, that attacked him from behind. Hulk punched down onto the chest of the Mechanist, but he just grabbed Hulk and threw him towards Tokyo. Captain Marvel and her daughter attacked him as he tried to stand up, but he just blocked them with his left arm while blocking Thor with his right one and shooting laser beams at Sentry. Even so, he was greatly outmatched. At the moment, he somehow managed to stand up and continued to fight the Avengers head-on. While the Avengers were fighting the Mechanist head-on, the Silver Shroud, Toga and Byako managed to fight off most of the robots that came for them, and now they were near the Mechanist. Silver Shroud. Okay, Byako aimed for his left leg. Ghost Rider already weakened it with his chain. Byako did as told and aimed, but he was shaky. Silver Shroud. Calm your breathing. Ready. Shoot. A whistling sound was heard as the Mini-A bomb flew through the air. It hit the left leg of the Mechanist while he tried to fight of Captain Marvel and Hulk. The explosion of the Mini-A bomb destroyed the weakened vibranium skin of the Mechanist, creating a big hole in the skin and damaging the mechanism it was protecting. The Silver Shroud charged forward, grenade launcher in hand, and started to shoot into the open hole in his left leg. He hit and caused the left leg of the Mechanist to catch fire, making his left leg completely useless. The Mechanist screamed out so loud that even the people that were at the port could hear him. Mechanist. No, this isn't over, it can't be over. The eye slit of the Mechanist glowed up and he shot a laser beam at Tokyo so strong it reached the Tokyo Tower and destroyed it and several tall buildings. Thor, seeing this, screamed out in pure rage and flew full speed at Mechanist. He lifted Stormbreaker over his head and smashed it down on the head of the Mechanist. The attack didn't destroy the vibranium skin, but the Mechanist was thrown back a bit, which caused him to lose his left leg. Now with only one leg left, he tried keep his balance, but that failed as Captain Marvel, Sentry, Itsuka, May, Iron Man and Hulk crashed into his chest. The Mechanist was thrown back and landed on his back, this time with no chance of getting back up again. Captain Marvel. It's over. Give up. Mechanist. Silver Shroud, followed by his companions, walked up to the Mechanist. Mechanist. Huh, I thought you would never come, but hey, what did I expect from someone who fights in the shadows? Silver Shroud. You don't need the most powerful weapon of all time to overpower your enemy when your mind is your mightiest weapon. Sentry landed beside Silver Shroud. Sentry. Thank you for your help against him and his robots. Silver Shroud. Don't thank me, thank Punisher and Techno for taking on that army of robots. Sentry. I will actually roar. Just then the ground began shaking and everyone looked towards the forest to see at least a 100 tank come rolling out full speed while firing at the robots. Some Sentry bots managed to withstand the tanks and even damage or destroy some of them. Captain Marvel and Thor went up in the air and flew towards the fight, aiding the tanks. But just then 5 fighter jets and 3 combat helicopters came and took care of the remaining robots. Explosions, shooting and scream filled the air with sound, and that caused the Mechanist to laugh. Iron Man. Find that funny dirtbag. Mechanist. Of course. Ha 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 ha. The sound of chaos is like honey for my ears. Ha ha ha. Silver Shroud wanted to say something, but he got interrupted as Manta Man talked over the radio. Manta Man radio. Shroud, send some people here, me and the firefighters have our hands full here. Silver Shroud turned towards Byako and Toga and said. Silver Shroud. Manta Man needs help in the city, take some soldiers that are still able to walk and go help him. Toga. Understood. Byako. On my way. Byako and Toga ran off towards a group of soldiers before getting them to follow them into the city. Deadpool radio. Yo, Shroud. Silver Shroud. What? Deadpool radio. I am here at the HQ of that mecha guy together with Inspector and we found something that might interest you. Iron Man and May walked over to him interested in the conversation. Deadpool radio. We found the fucking blueprints for this Liberty Prime project. Apparently is the skin of that thing made out of vibranium while its bones are made off adamantium, but now comes the funny part. That entire thing is powered by a nuclear heart. That motherfucker is a fucking walking nuke. Silver Shroud for the first time in years became pale, and he wasn't the only one. Iron Man and May weren't much better as they looked at each other. Mechanist. H-A-H-A-H-A-H-A-H-A-H-A-H-A. What is it, Shroud? Shocked that you got outsmarted, huh? Silver Shroud gripped the grenade launcher in his hand tighter and actually broke it because of his rage that he felt at that moment. Mechanist. Isn't it sweet? You thought you have won, but then everything crumbles as you find out you didn't. The chest of the Mechanist started to make a humming noise before it started to glow up a bright yellow. Sentry gritted his teeth as he walked towards the downed body of the Mechanist. Sentry. You think you won? Well then you forgot that I am still here. Sentry digged his hands under the massive robot's back and started to lift him up. Iron Man. Sentry. What are you doing? Sentry. Something I should have done way earlier. Sentry started to fly up into the air as the glowing of the Mechanist became brighter and brighter. They rose higher and higher until there was a loud explosion before a big ball as bright as the sun appeared in the air. Everyone covered his eyes as the light blended them. The light died down after around half a minute. Everyone that was there looked up and saw something falling from the sky. It was Sentry. Iron Man shot up into the air and catched the unconscious Avenger. He landed beside Silver Shroud, and May and Itsuka ran over while Thor and Captain Marvel came flying over. Silver Shroud kneeled down beside Sentry and looked over him. Sentry's suit was burned off and he was extremely thin and you could see his bones. He looked like someone who hasn't eaten in months. Shroud put his fingers on his throat to see if he even was alive. Silver Shroud. He is alive but extremely weak. The nuclear explosion took a lot out of him. He will need a lot of nutrients and vitamins. Also don't give him a barbecue after this, just soup until he looks healthier. Silver Shroud turned around and walked towards Tokyo as May asked. May. Where are you going? Silver Shroud. I am going to see if I can help out in the city. May looked at her father and he nodded at her. May. Wait, I am coming with you. May ran up to the Silver Shroud and they started to walk away until the other Avengers couldn't see them anymore. Once they were sure that they were out of sight, Silver Shroud pulled down his mask and pulled May into a kiss, which she returned. They hugged each other as May started to cry into his chest. May. H. How are you so calm? You just saw hundreds of people die. Izuku. Silver Shroud. War must be, while we defend our lives against a destroyer who would devour all. But I do not love the bright sword for its sharpness, nor the arrow for its swiftness, nor the warrior for his glory. I love only that which they defend. With that he continued his way towards the city center of Tokyo as he pulled up his mask, but he stopped and stretched out his hand towards May. Izuku. Silver Shroud. Are you coming? May. Yeah. She grabbed his hand and they walked into the city. The fallout. Sharp ran around the city trying to help where he could as he heard screaming from an abandoned street. He froze at what he saw. He saw a child on the ground rolling around in pain as it was burning alive. Child. Mommy. I am burning. It hurts. Mommy. The mother of the child was laying on the ground not far away from the child, dead. Sharp ran over to the child and took off his jacket in hope to stop the fire. But as he got a closer look he saw that the skin was already burned off, no hair and its eyes weren't there anymore. Even so, Sharp didn't want it to be true. He knew that the child would die one way or another. Heavy-hearted he took out his pistol and bang! The child stopped screaming and just laid there on the floor dead. Sharp holstered his pistol and slowly walked away from the corpse of the burning child. He has been a soldier for 10 years now and was battle-hardened, but still he was crying like a child as he walked away. Toga was running around the streets of Tokyo and saw firefighters, police officers and EMT medics working hand in hand to save as much as they could. Toga stopped as she saw an elderly couple laying in front of a burning apartment building. The couple was dead and they had bite marks on their shoulders, and that was when Toga saw a dog sitting at the feet of the couple. She guessed that it was their dog. The back of the dog was completely burned and its left side of its snout as well. The dog looked at Toga before looking at the couple in front of him. Toga followed the dog's eyes and saw that he was looking at their hands. Toga kneeled down and took the left hand of the man and the right hand of the woman before laying them down on top of each other. It looked like they died together holding hands. The dog looked at Toga again before rolling into a ball and laying down in between the legs of its owners. The dog looked one more time at Toga as if it was trying to say thank you. Before the dog closed his eyes, it stopped breathing. Toga walked away from the sad scene as she continued to help everyone as much as she could. Silver Shroud looked out over the destroyed city and said, "Silver Shroud, we won, but at what cost? The battle for Tokyo was over, the Mechanist was gone. No one paw." News reporter. It has been 2 weeks since the Battle of Tokyo and today we received the official numbers on the deaths. Those are the official numbers released by the government. 5,689 deaths in total have been counted and confirmed. From those 5,688, 3,491 were soldiers, 357 were firefighters, policemen, MTs and heroes, and 1841 civilians. Our thoughts and prayers are with those that have lost their lives and with their families. The news went on the TV while in the building where the TV was shots and screams were heard. All of a sudden the door to the room with the TV bursted open, revealing Shigaraki. His face was full of fear and his right hand was looking like Swiss cheese. Shigaraki. Master, he is here, it's Sylve. Then as the last word left his mouth, a bang was heard and Shigaraki's brain was splattered all over the wall and in the non-existent face of All For One. All For One was internally panicking, but he did a good job to not show it on his face. But that quickly changed as the none other than the Silver Shroud came walking into the room, Tommy gun over his shoulder and his revolver in his right. The aura he shined out made All For One shiver in fear. Why was he shivering, he asked himself. He was over 200 years old, but here he was shivering in fear to a person that runs around in a trenchcoat and a weapon that is nearly 300 years old. Silver Shroud. All For One, I guess. All For One. And you must be the famous Silver Shroud. Why was he stuttering? Was he that afraid of the person in front of him? That can't be, he was the most powerful person in Japan. How is he shivering? All For One wanted to stand up or simply do something, but he couldn't move. Why couldn't he move? Silver Shroud, seeing the fast-growing fear of the person in front of him, just walked towards him calmly while pulling back the hammer of his revolver. The Silver Shroud stopped in front of All For One, staring directly into his eyes, and then he pointed his revolver at All For One's head. All For One. W. Who or why? You. Silver Shroud. My name is Izuku Midoriya. You killed my father, prepare to die. All For One. Wah. Bang. And just like that the Zamboli of evil was gone once and for all. The Silver Shroud took out one of his cards and put it in the chest pocket of All For One's suit. Silver Shroud. And here is your ticket to hell. With those words the Silver Shroud walked out of the room, leaving behind the end of an era. The next day, Midoriya Manor. We can see Izuku, Mei, Mineta, Shoto and Tony sitting at a small round table in the garden of the manor as they watched Eri playing with her new toys in the garden with an amused smile. Mineta. I still can't believe that you actually adopted a child, Izuku. Not gonna lie, I never thought I would. Tony. You are more like your father than you think. If he hadn't been that busy with working, he probably would have adopted a whole group of children. Izuku. Jarvie says that all the time since I adopted Eri. They laughed all together as Jarvie came walking out of the mansion and into the garden with 2 types of cakes in his hands. Jarvie. First we have a meringue pavlova cake filled with cream fresh and cranberries. May. Oh my god Jarvie, this looks divine. Jarvie. Thank you very much Miss Stark. And the second one is a German apple pie. Izuku. Eri, come over, the cake is here. Eri ran over to the table and sat down on one of the chairs. Jarvie cut the apple pie first and gave it to Eri. Eri. Thank you Mr. Jarvie. Jarvie. You are welcome little one. After that Jarvie gave everyone else a piece of apple pie or pavlova, whatever they liked, before sitting down on the table too. They talked and ate cake for the next 20 minutes until Eri stood up and continued to play in the garden. That was when Tony pulled out a small box. Tony. I heard you are going back to Boston for a while. Izuku. Yeah, I have some work to do there. One of my suppliers causes problems, so I have to deal with that, and then I have to meet some investors. Tony nodded before handing the small box to Izuku. Tony. I think this might help you with your other work. Izuku took the small box with a thank you from Tony. He opened it and inside was a Webley MKVI revolver. Izuku looked at the revolver before looking up and towards Tony. Tony just gave him a sly smirk. He took a deep breath before putting the box in front of him for Mei and Shoto to see. Izuku. How long have you known? Tony. For quite a while now. To be more precise, since the sports festival. You should have told that Toga girl what we were talking about, you know. Everyone looked at Tony for a few seconds before Izuku bursted out laughing. Izuku. Man. Ha ha ha, all it takes for you to find out is one small mistake, ha 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 ha. Everyone else started to laugh as well after that. Izuku stopped laughing and looked at Eri playing with the action figures and dolls he bought her before he looked back to Tony and started another conversation. Izuku. So I heard that you are helping to destroy the Hero Commission. Tony. Oh yeah. Fury wants the Japanese Hero Commission gone. We already arranged that after that is done that the Hero branch will be part of the Ministry of Defense here in Japan. Izuku. That may be for the better. Mei put her head on Izuku's shoulder as the conversation continued. Tony. We also have the new hero rankings. Mei. Really? Mineta. Who is the new number 1? Tony. Well, that is none other than the famous Silver Shroud. Unknown place. We see a small abandoned house hidden in a forest far away from any civilization. A small light comes from the inside. This small light was caused by a lonely computer, and on the screen of the computer we can see a robotic-looking face. Well, it seems like I survived. Great, I love when I do that. The end. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Now we will see you in the next video.